have no. This is Rob fucking Veevers.
Yeah.
Matchmaker for BTC. No, man, let's just chill. Let's just have some fucking.
How do you know the levels right?
I kind of just have it. I have it dialed in through there, like automatically, because I normally do a show with my friend on Sundays. So I kind of just leave it the same. I try to tell
Just
people
as
to
long
have
as
it as
I'm-
close
Right.
as possible. Just get comfortable.
kiss
That's
it.
it. Don't make out with it. You know, I think I told Jason don't French kiss it, and then you'll be good. But as long as you have it in front of your face, you're pretty much good to go. Perfect. So polite of you.
Yeah. Hey, cheers.
Cheers, by the way. Appreciate you for coming
having
out.
me down, man.
Yes,
Of course.
sir. Yes, sir.
It wasn't even that bad. I'm glad I didn't go downtown.
Oh, I thought you were actually going to come up from Toronto. Where'd you come from then?
Burlington.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
Is
gonna
that
go-
home base for you?
I
Or
live
Hamilton.
I live in Dundas, which is like a little suburb of Hamilton.
Yes. Not to be mistaken with the street.
Dundas Street. No, it rips. Dundas Street runs right through.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It goes that far out?
Yeah.
Fuck. I you know what? I barely go out to that side of the city, or at least that town, that part of the Ontario GTA, whatever you want to fucking call it. But I wanted to go back to like one of the first times we ever fucking met.
I guarantee you, I
Wendy's?
can tell you the story. Yeah, man. It's funny because I was talking to RG. Right, him and I chat all the time, but I was talking to him. I don't know, let's say a couple weeks ago, and I asked him how you were doing. He's like, "Oh, yeah, he's cool, man. He's cool." You know, I'm like, "Oh, he's a solid dude." I said, "I'll never forget the first time that him and I met." I said, "This motherfucker drove all the way from Toronto, Brantford, wherever, to drop tickets off to one of the SEC shows." I said, that told me a couple things. One, he's all in with the SEC, but a real good dude to just, you want tickets? I'm coming.
Yeah.
At whatever it takes.
I much preferred the personal touch, like even with the podcast I'm doing now. I prefer the personal touch rather than calling in or mailing and doing that type of shit.
Yeah.
Because you don't really get to build that connection with the person.
Sure.
Now look, how long has it been? Fucking 8 years later, 7 years later.
Yeah.
I got you in my fucking basement doing my fucking podcast now. Like it's great. Like I believe you were managing Dean Martin at the time. Dean Martin. That was the main guy that we were dealing with for SEC, right? Jared Robb, yeah, that was the fight that we had. Ooh, that was a rough one. I don't know if it's on YouTube out there for you guys to see, but this was one of those matchups where you got like a tough, gritty veteran, you could call Martins at the time. Like
for sure,
he had
karate black, like he's got legit.
He had years under his belt, and then you had this young, up and coming Jared Robb, killer, top prospect type of guy. You know what I mean? And then it's kind of like one of those like feeding to lamb to slaughter into a sense. Like I hate saying that about fighters.
To a degree,
I mean, because I respect Dean. Like I'm not trying to shit on him.
What was he like 2 and 4, something like that? Like he had a handful of pro fights, and same discussion with everybody. Like, oh, he's got a shitty record. Okay, but he's been in the cage X amount of times and won a couple.
That's the thing about the regional scene that's really opened my eyes to these fighters with those like salty records, if you want to call it that.
Sure.
Just because, you know, they're 2 and 4 or whatever it is, that means he stepped in the cage 6 fucking times. You know what I mean? That's more than a guy that's been 1-0 or, you know, just had 1 or 2 fights.
You guys talk about it enough on your podcast. The underdogs.
Yeah.
Like you look at that Jared Robb and Dean Martin's matchup on paper. Jared Robb's probably like minus 400 and change.
Probably.
If not higher. You know? Dean's cashing a +1 thou wow.
Yeah.
Right? So he goes in there and spin kicks his head off. The Martin's backers are going fucking right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The Jared Robb backers on the losing side of that thing are meeting him by the dumpster to finish him off. You know what I mean?
Who else were you managing around that time? Like, do you recall some of the names?
A long time ago, man.
Because
Lenny Wheeler was one of the first dudes that I ever started working with.
Yes.
Him and I still stay in touch from time to time. I think he's kind of itching to get back into the game. He was a cool dude.
Nice.
Lenny's a cool dude. Yeah. But yeah, there's been a bunch of different people I've helped out over the years doing stuff. But it's funny how when people ask like, when did you get started? It's like,
that's where I was going to follow on. Actually, the downtown.
It's like 2010, man.
That's what I mean. Because I feel like you kind of shortchanged us on that last podcast that you did. Where the guy's like, "How'd you get started?" So I'm like, "Nah, dude, I've known this guy since years ago. That's not how we get started in it." So like, how did you get in touch with these guys to become their? Yeah, how did you?
So I always, for whatever reason, I enjoy doing things that I've never gone to school for or didn't think about going to school for. when I was like 18, I was dating a girl who was in the radio TV broadcasting program. So I sort of got a little bit of like a look behind the scenes of that. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Gabriel Morency from Back in the Score, hardcore sports radio. I really liked what him and Cam Stewart were doing. And of course, I've got that itch to the vices. We've all got different vices.
For sure.
I've been known from time to time to sprinkle a little bit on fights or games or whatever. So I was really interested in doing radio thing. So at McMaster, they have a just a community station. So I like emailed the guy like, you guys don't have any sports shows on here. Why not? And how do you get one? And he's like, well, here's the application. Fill it out.
That easy.
All right. So I'm like, and again with the scratch and the itch and stuff, I had a show called Home Dog Sports Radio.
Okay.
Betting on
nice
baseball, the home dogs, whatever. So I did that with a buddy of mine for a few years. Some dude in the States who ended up being like a shyster. But he's like, yo, he like streamed our show through his website and then told me about it months later. So it was random. But anyway, I'm like, I don't give a shit. I'm like getting paid for this and whatever. So I started writing articles on different sports stuff. And he's like, yo, I do this management thing with MMA fighters. Why don't you take care of Canada?
Yeah.
Start doing...
What was your experience with MMA leading up to that, though?
Nothing.
Zero. Did you watch an event?
Love it. Oh, of course.
Okay. Yeah. You already had fallen into love with
I got
MMA.
the UFC 1, 2, 3,
okay,
the
perfect.
VHS tapes.
So the love goes back to like 94 is what you're saying.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
And now this is your foray into actually working inside the business itself. So continue.
Still looking to make a dime, but it's
Trust me.
That's the sport of MMA. But yeah, that's sort of where things sort of snowballed. And then so worked with a couple of guys, really found out that this dude was like, I didn't feel like, doing right by the guys and was more in it for trying to get rich quick type of thing. Even the name of his website and show was ripped off of already made TV shows and channels and stuff.
Can you throw it out there?
the show that he ripped off, or the channel rather, was like G4 TV. Do you remember G4 TV?
Yeah, that was more like gaming shit, right?
Some stuff like that.
Yeah,
Anyways,
yeah.
I'll give the guy a lot of credit. Like he did have a lot of foresight for where things were going with the podcasts and the online stuff,
social media ish type of shit.
Yeah, he was sort of really. No, I wouldn't say ahead of the curve, because I mean, if he's that creative to think ahead of the curve, why are you naming your thing like a letter after G4 TV? You know what I mean? Yeah. But nonetheless, so you figured him, and that, I don't know where that dude is today, because when I told him I was done going to do my own thing, it was like block, delete. I don't want you to copy my stuff and whatever, which is like, well,
not much
you
to
can't
copy.
Third copy something. I mean, you could, but
somebody's going to start to catch on,
right? So that's way like 2010, 2012, like way the fuck back there.
Yeah, dude. I was like, if you were to tell me back in 2011, 2012 that I probably wasn't going to make more than $1,000 off of doing this MMA shit, I may have stopped. And you probably would say the same thing, right?
I mean, I'd like to say that, but it's one of those crazy things where it's nuts right now. Like we're a couple days out from a fight.
Yeah.
Some other people are calling me and say, "Wow, how's your stress level?" Man, I'm cool. I'm good.
Chilling.
Like, I don't spike whatever.
Yeah.
But there are days where you pull your hair out, or you're like, how can this guy be so stupid? Blah, blah, blah. And like, I never have the days like, what the hell am I doing this for? Right? Like, to break down the hours that you put into it versus what you get out on the backside of it, it's nickels.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't give, like, for me, it's not even about that whatsoever. I love it. I'm so happy that the guys in Ontario are able to compete locally again.
Thank God.
Consistently, which it's fantastic. And that was it's always been about like helping them out, because guys like Ryan Dixon, for example, he was my first jiu-jitsu coach way back in the day. And the same with him. He was having a tough time like getting fights and stuff like that. And those, the guys were helping him get his stuff done. Classic story that I'm not sure if it either honed Paul Gelbert's respect for me or just sort of kicked it off. But there a kid from really good prospect out of BC, Alexi Argirio. Okay, he was fighting for Hard Knocks. They were trying to find him an opponent. They send me Paul's name, and I put the brakes on him. No way. My guy's not going to fight Paulie. Like I know Paulie's could come correct, and it's actually funny because previous podcasts that I've done this week, pardon me, I talk about the Series City Mateo Vogel matchup being such a great thing that these two up and coming prospects are going to clash when roll the tape back years ago.
That wasn't happening,
on two prospects coming up. I don't forget about it. It's not going to happen.
In SCC 1 and 2 alone, there were so many times where we're like, there are some guys who are like, you know what? Probably not going to do it.
Yeah.
Both of these guys are probably going to clash in the UFC or a different organization. But right now, we're trying to get them there. We're like,
that's the best.
Come on, guys.
Like, let these guys fight in the UFC. Let these guys get there first.
Exactly. The one name that I will always remember that nobody ever wanted to fight on his come up and hasn't really panned out right now, Yanni Sherbatov. That was one guy that not a lot of people wanted to fight.
People are still running away from that dude.
Like, I don't know what he's really up to at the moment.
He's competing. He was on a couple podcasts or radio shows like recently as a week or two ago. Like he's still got that itch to compete. I can't remember. He fought Malcolm Gordon last year, I think. If not last year, the year before, maybe.
Didn't Gordon beat him?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to remember.
That would have been for ACB.
ACA. Yeah.
When they kicked into Montreal.
Because they did a Montreal show. Yeah, that's right.
Cross promo with that other promotion in Montreal. But yeah, he's. I mean, I'd be shocked if you were to say to someone other than Malcolm Gordon, here, come fight Yoni Sherbatov. Like the reason he's not fighting, I believe, is because there's no one that will fight him.
Interesting. I'm glad. I think Gordon's going to be fighting in one of those upcoming tournaments.
Brave, I think.
Yeah,
which is like good for him.
Great for him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's about time he's finally starting to get that more.
I'm surprised they only did four guys though. I think they could have.
They could have made it a little bit more interesting. 8.
They could have easily done 8.
Right.
Like in New Jersey, Sean Santella.
Yeah.
He's,
exactly. That's another guy to look out for.
Veteran that I hope he gets signed to the show one day. But I mean, if he does, that's like he's taking the longest road to get there.
Oh, easily.
You know, and I think it's because he's a no nonsense guy. And we'll touch it, might as well get out of the bag now. The co-main event, Gabe Sagman, Josh Clark.
I was going to bring that up because I got heartbroken when I heard that on the fucking podcast.
Man. Yeah, that was going to be such
That's something that Jason was like pumping up huge. He goes, yo, this fight's going to be nuts. Awesome. Clark is a beast.
Yeah, Clark's improved leaps and bounds from, she's tripped out of the gate when he started out, but he's turned it around and he's doing well. Getting Gabe Sagman, legit black belt.
That's another guy that I was hearing about even back then.
Sure. And it's like he's got, I think, 2 or 3 fights in Romania, for God's sake. Like,
yeah.
If that's where where the game was at, where he had to go that far away to get a fight, like that's.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, he caught wind of an opening at 125. Just this weekend, and he was like, I heard you need a guy next Saturday. I'm your guy.
Shit.
And I was like, I know, man, but like the other day I saw a post was like, he put out a post like, people that say they're looking for a 125er should also add, but not Sean Santella. And when I saw someone I guess was trying to do me a favor, by saying like, oh, there's a show looking for a 125 or whatever, I almost commented, but not Sean Santella, because I knew
you want to make that a running joke now.
He's 21 and 12 or whatever the hell he is. Like, there's no way I would even suggest that for Gabe or James. It just doesn't make sense.
Competition wise, at this point in time,
I'd be shocked if the commission even
exactly. That's another thing to like consider whenever you are making these matchups.
Have to.
You were saying on that podcast though that you were working on something, maybe closing in on 10 fights. Is that out of realm of possibility still, or are we going with 8? What's going on?
9.
9 fights.
Yep,
okay.
Yeah.
Is there another one that was announced within this past week? Or
I got one done last night.
Is there anything? This isn't going to come out till Thursday, so.
We might not even announce it by then.
Are you kidding me? Just a random night of event?
We have we got a couple hurdles. We're not out of in the clear yet. I mean, it's been approved by the commission.
Okay. Medicals and
Red
shit.
Corner is finished up their licensing today. Send that in.
Okay.
Blue Corner is working on things.
Okay, fuck.
Yeah, I don't mind telling you. Regardless of Thursday ever comes out today, Vladimir Kazbekov versus Eric Wilson.
Damn.
Yo,
Eric Wilson's out in Alberta, right?
He was in Saskatoon or Saskatchewan somewhere. I think Saskatoon. Now he's in Halifax.
Okay, not too bad.
No, and it's funny. I was at Parabellum earlier today talking to Rory, and he's like, "Yeah, Eric stopped by a couple months ago. He drives truck and just like drives wherever he's got to drive, and then finds a gym wherever he is.
That's not a bad nomad style, you know what I mean?
Sick. But that suits him perfectly because you call him on Wednesday or Sunday, as it were, and say, I need you to fight in 6 days. What do you think? Like, yeah,
I'm down.
Who is it?
Was Vladimir training for anything at the time, or
he was sort of on the fence about like, well, I don't know if I want to just yet, or yeah, I want to. He's like, okay, let's do it. Find somebody. I'm like, all right, what weight? He said 145. Perfect. Let's roll.
Nice.
Found a few different guys and like, okay, like, do you want to talk about this now? He's like, no, I'm not feeling well. So, and he's one of those dudes that like, once he knows of the name, like he refuses to watch video or even look at a picture.
Interesting.
Because he just flips a switch. He can't sleep. It's just focused on you're dead.
Damn.
So when he's not feeling well, whatever, he didn't want to, put himself through. So no, we'll talk about it. Like, let me call you tomorrow.
Yeah.
A few days go by. He's not feeling better. He's getting worse, whatever. I think it was like Sunday or Monday last week. Mm-hmm. He was like, all right, bro, who you got? Like, nice. Nobody now, bro. Took too long.
Should have got on this shit.
Took too long.
Yeah.
He's like, all right. I said, I can, so-and-so at 150. He's like, no, 45.
Okay.
No problem. We look at 45. A couple of days go by. I'm like, oh, I got this guy at 45. He's like, it's 155 now. Like, what do you mean? It's like, well, we're just getting closer and I don't want to cut any weight. I'm like, all right, that's fair.
Okay.
Like, we're 7-8 days out. I get it.
Yeah.
I want to cut any weight. No big deal. He wasn't heavy or anything like that. Like, he could have made 55 even this weekend if he wanted to. And that's still what he was gaming for. Mm-hmm. Oddly enough, Eric then spun it around. He's like, 55 in a couple of days is going to be tight. Like, can we do a catch? I'm like, what? 60. I'm like, I'm fairly certain that Vlad will be cool with 160, which is fucked up because both of these cats are bantamweights. They're both.
I swear Eric Wilson used to fight at 25.
I'm not.
Didn't he fight Wooly at 25, or was supposed to fight Wooly at 25?
I know he fought Wooly. Mm-hmm. But most of his fights are at 35, regardless. So, and same with Vlad. Vlad's fought at 25. He's fought at 35.
He's a thicker boy too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. No neck.
No neck. Team no neck.
But it's funny because, again, I was at Para today, and they've got a couple Square Fighting Series posters up there. I'm like, there he is. That's the guy who's fighting Josh Hill.
I love reminiscing about those regional days just because the group of people that were around that at that time is kind of small, but it's also like a very small world when it comes into actually communicating with them, whether it's you or Woody or any of those guys that are involved in the scene, right? They're running a show afterwards as well. Not sure how I feel about the fact that it's back-to-back weekends, but I'm just happy that there's regional fucking MMA. You know what I mean? I love the fact that you guys are on number 9 though. And just a side note, I love the fact that you guys do 9 or the number and a name behind it as well. I'm glad you guys don't do one or the other. I'm glad that you guys do both.
Yeah.
Because like, what's the? I think it's one championship. They do one championship, Battle of Champions or some shit.
No number.
But which one is it though? You know what I mean? Like how many have you guys really done? Like, I don't know if that's just a niche thing that I like or what it is.
Even like the UFC went away from that. Like they have the number.
But they did number. Yeah, they did numbers and the name, right?
And
now they just do numbers.
Just straight up numbers.
But I like that you guys bring that back though, because that's a little bit of like nostalgia for like the real MMA fan.
If we get to 200 shows, which we will, are we going to run out of names? Are we going to have Rampage 9? BTC 9, Rampage 9?
You should just say, what is it? The Bicentennial 200 is Bicentennial? Sure, whatever the fuck it is. I might be completely off on it. That might be 50. But either way, there's always going to be a name for one of these fucking shows that you guys can put on.
It's funny you say that though, because not that we have like closed door, like shut the blinds, so we got to figure these names out.
I'm just imagining like a whiteboard with all these fucking names that you guys are considering. Just all the shutters closed. Everybody just dark and gloomy, fucking sipping on whiskey, trying to figure out names for their shows.
There are whiteboards. And at one point, there were names on the whiteboard. I'm not kidding you. That's how you got to do it, though. You have to brainstorm. There's like, we're a super small, well-oiled machine that those that are involved, everyone's got input.
Nice.
It's not like you're in charge of the names. So then when if there's a shitty name, it's like,
that was a motherfucker that screwed it up.
Hey man, if Ted didn't pick the name, we probably would have got an extra 50, 100 tickets out of it.
Touché.
So we put we all have input. I remember when we first, okay, what are the names going to be? I made a list. It was probably 50 deep. All right, here's a starting point. Like I didn't like a lot of them.
Got our first 50 ready to go.
I didn't like a lot of them, right? It's like, I mean, you guys figured out from here. This is names that I've seen, heard, whatever.
Yeah.
And then there's the interesting touches that you put on it. Like I think the 12 in November is going to be like extreme.
Ooh. Should we expect some extreme shit? Is that what you're saying?
So extreme that we're taking the E off. It's extreme. But that's the thing. MMA is that's the type of sport. When you see extreme, there's no E. It's
never
straight up X. You know what I mean?
So you guys do have like the next several named and ready to go.
We have this year done.
This year ready to go.
Names, yeah. And like I don't very often refer to them by the name. I mean, that's like BTC 9 Rampage.
Yeah.
To me, it's 9.
Yeah, number 9. That's on the docket.
Because it's like, okay, for what are we going to do for 10? What do we? I got an idea for 11. Like shoot a text, an email. Here's an idea for 11.
Yeah, it's better to go about it that way too, just in terms of like knowing. Okay, we're on number 9 right now. We're talking about number 11. The priority for that is a little bit further down the road. That's another way of putting it too, right? Have you guys announced the 2020 schedule or are okay?
Yeah, well, I know that.
I don't want to spill any beans here or anything.
No,
like that.
We did at the award show that we did in January. We had we already had 9 and 10 booked, announced all that stuff, and then at the award show I announced 11 and 12.
Nice.
So 10 is going to be 9 is this weekend.
That's your camera right there.
Kitchener, Ontario, btcfight.ca for tickets. This Saturday at the Memorial Auditorium.
Oh, trust me. That's all that info is going to be on it as well. Don't worry.
There's never enough plugs. 10,
BTC 9. BTC 9.
10 is going to be June the 6th in Burlington, home base.
Nice. I think you said on the podcast, the other podcast, Night of Champions.
Yep,
So it should be something.
I like to refer to it as our WrestleMania.
Nice.
That's where, I mean, we're so close to it that we can put all hands on deck. We can shoot to the venue on lunch type of thing if we need to, whatever.
Yeah.
That's home base though. That's the big one for us.
Same arena. I think I've been there for one of those shows.
Yeah, there's been a few shows there. We've done 2 of ours there. It's a great spot. I mean, there's a couple of things that we'll tinker with, but otherwise, that the Central Arena is a great spot for hosting those shows, and like to continue to bang them out there. The city of Burlington loves us.
That's great. Like it's good to build that type of that following. Like I think Score Fighting just tried to do that in Hamilton. Remember, we had a bunch of shows at the Hamilton Place Theater, right?
Go backwards.
What do you mean in terms of backwards? Like
the relationship with the city?
I'm not sure about that deep into it.
Yeah,
like
there's part of the. I mean, there's a couple different reasons why we haven't gone there yet, but I heard part of the reason why is that they're not interested in having it there because of what had gone down at the.
Like there's ruckus at the
I don't know.
Or something?
That's the thing. I don't know.
I don't ever recall anything big happening afterwards or
no, I don't know
due to it.
I'm not sure. I honestly don't know. But nonetheless,
I thought it was a great venue though. I mean, the Hamilton Place Theater was great.
I was there at in this fall, I want to say, for some sort of a comedy show, and it like the flashbacks that I was having was nuts because I'm like, I remember sitting on that side.
Yep.
I remember fight number 2. The place was empty.
Yeah.
Everybody came to see Adam Assenza.
Oh, yeah.
He fought. He won. They left.
That's just the norm, though, with regional
It's crazy
MMA.
because, and I'm going, are you fucking nuts?
Yeah, I know.
Like,
you still got like Will Romero coming up against Tristan Thompson, or I forgot who Tristan Johnson. Tristan Johnson, yeah, that was a great fight. Jesse Ronson against fucking Ryan Healy, monster fight, ridiculous fight.
Josh Hill and Jason Frazier at some point. Josh Hill, I think at that one, he was fighting Eric Wilson.
I think so. I don't recall.
The one behind you. That was a.
This was
that Forrest Petts Jordan Mean fight.
That was nuts. Was it Petts or shit? Did Mean even fight on that one?
He fought Petts.
Fuck. Oh wait, I'm thinking about Petts and Yuskevich. That was a different fight. That was another one too. Ronson was on that card. Romero. Did you go to the first one at Hershey Center?
Maybe I can't remember.
It was Meehan and Zaromskis that night. Marius and Romskis. Adrian Woolley fought some guy from Alaska, Nick Mamalis.
They fought a couple times.
Sokaju fought on the fucking card. Josh Hill fought on the card, I'm pretty sure, too. Yeah. Insane. But, like, just could not sell it. Like, the arena, it was tough.
But so go down that list, and you have, I mean, Woolley makes sense because he's very local to that area. But Sokaju, Pets, Jordan Mean, like,
that's the hardcore fans, though. That's the hardcore fans.
Yeah, but the hardcore
How many
fans,
are
they
there?
don't come out of the woodwork. And there might be, like, on the forums and stuff online, there might be, like, 1,000 people.
Yeah.
Spread out over North America.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
3 people show up to the fight, which is awesome. Keep coming.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? But that's the biggest challenge.
But that's what you guys have kind of in your back pocket now, is that you have the backing of Burlington, which is great. Because, like, Strikeforce needed San Jose. You know what I mean? UFC, I guess they were just from the get-go. They were good to go. You can say they have Vegas if you want to say that. But there isn't really any other promotion that you can think of that has the backing of a city or even a town or whatever you want to call it. So I think that having Burlington alone for you guys is enough of a driving factor to continue to put on shows, whether it's in Burlington or in fucking Ottawa or wherever the hell you guys go, right?
Well, that's the thing. Like, and it's so important for the card to be as loaded as possible with the local guys, because
so the guys come out.
Yeah, because they're gonna the thing that I am happy about is that each show we gain and we earn new fans.
Yes.
You got to get them in the door, right? So you get an athlete who's going to sell tickets to his buddies, who's got buddies from work or whatever. Like, oh, that sounds kind of neat. Like, oh, I've got an extra ticket. Do you want to come with?
Yep.
He goes. I'm in.
Yeah.
Right. I'm down. Okay. So now +1.
Yeah.
We had 2,500 people, +1 for next time.
Yeah.
And you spread that out, and over time, it's like a snowball effect.
You kind of like are banking on the fights to like be bangers too, though, right? Like you got to. That's the tough life of a matchmaker. Like you got to look at costs, your budget. You got to look at how many people this guy is actually going to be able to bring out. I think the Jesse Ronson one, you talked about it a little bit on that past podcast, but was that more?
You can ask me the same questions.
Yeah, I hate regurgitating shit. I hate
okay.
it.
I've had these conversations like 15 times over, so I don't mind. These are the questions that you got to ask. So
but was the Jesse Ronson one more so to bring name value to the show, or was it more so to get that London crowd, or a bit of both?
It was a mixed bag of a few things. I don't think Jesse's fought even close to home in 30 fights
since actually
like southwestern Ontario. Like he's
actually yeah. Hamilton, I get not. Yeah, he fought in Hamilton. That was
an hour and a half.
Touche from London.
So it's not 40 minutes.
I don't think he's ever fought in Windsor, which would be even closer.
No, Windsor's further.
That's true.
Right?
That just shows you my negligence for fucking east of Toronto or west of Toronto.
Once you get to Hamilton, there's not a whole lot going on in the southwest end. Right? But no, so that was number one. It'd be great to give him an opportunity to fight at home again.
Get those adrenaline guys out there.
It'd be great for the card to have a guy like Jesse Ronson on it for sure. And is there going to be people going to follow him?
For sure.
You hope, you want to, right? But those were the main things. Like let's and he's done a lot with a lot of the dudes. Like he'll come up to Para to train.
Yeah.
So when he's in camp, he's coming to get work, but he's given a lot of the younger guys work as well. That he's 30 fights, UFC, PFL. That's experience that you can't just, that's not in the room every day, like literally. So when he's there, he's generous with his time and he helps the guys and a lot of them will shoot down there to give him some work and again with the experience from him.
He had a tough run in the UFC strictly because matchup wise they didn't really give him any favors. I mean, but Kevin Lee, Michel Prazeres, like wrestler after wrestler after wrestler.
Favorable matchups except for GSP.
That's true.
Like, we really want to build up.
Ricci, same shit. Like he kind of. The Felder fight should have been winnable for him, considering that it was like a stand-up fight and that's kind of his realm. But yeah, like Ronson was the one where I was like, I can't wait for this guy to be in the UFC. And then they just team up with fucking grappler after grappler after grappler. And here's another one. He's getting a grappler in Troy Lamson as well, right? So this is kind of this is a fight for him to be like, all right, guys, like, look, like I'm going to go up against, I don't even know what Lamson's credentials are, but I'm sure it's pretty high level in terms of wrestling wise, right? Like he's just next level. I watched his last fight with Alex Munoz on the looking for a fight, right? But long, rangy, can also implement his wrestling as well. So we'll get to see the evolution of Jesse Ronson in this fight as well too, in terms of how he's able to deal with guys that are wrestling based.
It's your stereotypical style clash.
Yep.
Right. Jesse's the kickboxer, very heavy handed, heavy with the kicks.
Yep.
Against the grappler. Right. So Jesse's been working to improve his wrestling. His wrestling defense is a lot better than people want to give him credit for. But those are aspects of his game that he's leveling up all the time. The cage work, this and that. Flip side to Troy, the wrestler, like very high level wrestler who now has to flip the script and work on his feet, work on his hands, and try not to eat a knee on the way in if that's what he opts to do. I think this fight there'll be a lot of action against the cage from both guys. Jesse will want to keep it nice and tight so that he's not taken down if he's not able to use his feet and stay at range. And Troy will probably want to work to keep him up against the cage, hit him with some elbows and shoot and try to grab him with the double leg.
How much do styles play into your matchmaking? Like, do you look at like, okay, Lamson's a wrestler, Ronson's a striker, but whatever.
Yeah,
like, do you look into
that one was easier because there's no secret that's Jesse has this background and Troy has this background. With a lot of these younger guys coming up, who the hell knows?
Yeah, that's true.
Right? You see some of their amateur stuff online. They're like, okay, well he's okay here, he's okay. They're okay to turn the corner. And then you see what they're like. You see, and a lot of the guys these days coming up too are MMA fighters.
Yeah. That's something that we're seeing a lot of now.
You know, they like Siri City is a prime example. He walked through the doors of then Tap Out, now BTC training or Burlington Training Center. I think he was like 15, and it was like, okay, Mondays boxing, Tuesdays jiu-jitsu, Wednesdays kickboxing, and he's learning MMA
from the get-go,
from day one.
That's a kid that I just keep hearing about. I need to see this kid. Like
you're gonna
knock on wood. Let's keep that fucking fight intact. We can lose all the other fights. I want to see that fucking fight.
Both dudes are licensed. So I mean, barring like a banana peel situation.
Yeah.
And it really, I mean, anything can fucking happen until cage door shuts.
Yeah.
But that's the one. I mean, like talking about this in the past, I will always say that I'm excited for this fight or that fight or whatever. It's just ingrained in me to spit that out. 99% of the time, that's a genuine response. Like this matchup, it really excites me for these reasons. So City versus Vogel is two young up and coming MMA fighters. Vogel's got more of a Brazilian jiu-jitsu background than he does like striking or what have you. But two young, like really young pups coming up and ready to let her rip.
Another thing that I wanted to touch on is you were asked about if there was one fight in BTC history that you could watch, blah, blah, blah. You named off a bunch of them, but the first one that you did was one of my homegirls, Anastasia Nikolakakos.
Yeah.
I know she's doing, she had Invicta. She had the first fight.
Did I pronounce her name correctly?
Close. It was close. I got it down just because like I used to work at the gym and like I fucking say
that was off the top of my head. That
was great. You know what? That was actually a pretty damn good attempt on you. But that's a girl that I'm super excited for. I was kind of bummed that I haven't seen her on any of the cards since like BTC 1 though. Like we
had her twice. One for sure, and I want to say we were the 2 or 3. The second fight she had was against Francis Hernandez, if I remember correctly.
I don't recall that one. I just remember the first one because that's the one that was at the Toronto Convention Center. Yeah. That one was a fuck. That's the one that you're talking about. Barn burner. Amazing fight. Firecracker. Right?
Who the hell is this girl? I'm looking at RG going like, what have you done?
I know.
What have
She's
you
a
created?
little beast. The thing is with her, she was such a beast in the gym, but she was too shy, in my opinion, to go out there and actually show off her skills.
Sure.
Like she was doing jiu-jitsu with those Wolf Run guys up in Bolton. She's doing all of her stuff with us, obviously her boxing, and then she was really bringing her MMA together with Paulie and the whole team there too, right? But then when I heard that she was actually fully committing to it and actually wanted to do amateur fights and go pro and all that shit, I'm like, bitches are in trouble.
She looked the exact opposite of shy in that fight.
Exactly.
Like the exact opposite.
But I think it was more so nerves for her. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure,
I think
of
it was like
course.
just trying to like
doubt.
overcoming those nerves and then actually getting on there do it. And now she goes on to Invicta and she's doing great things over there too. She's only had one fight, but absolutely mauled that chick. I'm not sure if you watched that fight, but from bell to bell, she just, I think she finished her in the second round as well too.
And was that her, she 3-0 or 4-0 now?
I think she's 4-0.
So she had a fight then between the Hernandez fight and that most recent one. I think the third fight, I don't know what weight it was at, if it was at 105 or 115. The two with us was 115. So I think now she's found a home for herself at 105.
It's got to be 105. What's her size? She has to be 105.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's unfortunate that there isn't much of a, other than Invicta.
But that's part of the problem is that for a couple things, because there's been different times where we tried to or could have maybe had her on a card.
Yeah.
But when you pick up the phone and you call and go, can you fight Anastasia, 105 pounds, on December 25th, whatever, they go, 1 second. I'm signed to Invicta. I can't. I'm sorry. Like, hilarious. She's signed to Invicta.
Oh, look at that.
I know that they will let her let it happen.
Yeah.
Like they have.
There's no exclusivity with them. Like, it's just.
I think it's exclusive, but if it's like, okay, Invicta's a fight January 15th, you're looking to have her fight on the 25th of December, right? We don't have room for her or plans to have her on the 15th.
Go ahead and use her.
Fight on Jesus' birthday.
Yeah.
Do your thing.
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
So there's a lot, I think, a lot of that, but the being signed to Invicta thing is how most of these girls get out of fighting other tough girls.
Yeah. I'm kind of bummed just because I want to see her progress a little bit more, but I think she's having
I think you will. She might be like 2 fights a year type of thing.
Yeah.
Given those challenges and roadblocks.
Another guy, again, this is just complete bias just because I even signed this motherfucker up to the gym.
Sure.
Ergis Segeta. Like, he's fighting the following weekend. I love that kid, dude. Like, they're just such a wacky character to begin with, but then his fighting style as well in terms of just forward pressure. And sometimes it might get a little bit boring with him just holding guys up against the cage and stuff, but if you're not able to get away from that, that's your fucking problem.
So his opponent's corner's advice to their athlete in between the first and second round was like, okay, so in order for us to win this fight, we're going to have to outwork this guy. And the fighter goes, no fucking way. It's
no
not
way.
happening. Just, hey, where's the towel?
Yeah, exactly. You might as well throw that shit
in. You're not
in.
outworking that guy.
No.
3, 5, 15 rounds. Not happening.
I'm super excited that he's working with Assenza now with like strength and conditioning stuff now too. So his physique hasn't looked the greatest all the time, but now he's saying, I had him in that chair as well a couple of weeks ago too. He's saying he feels a night and day difference in terms of his strength.
No doubt.
Now that he's working with Assenza and actually doing legit shit. He goes, I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing. Assenza tells me do 15 of those. I'm doing 15 of those. Sure. That's all. He's just plug it into my brain. I'm going to go fucking do it.
That's the best part about a young kid like him who's like, you tell me whatever you want me to do and I'll do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, he's a special talent.
Next level. Like, I'm super excited for what the future holds for him. And I know a bunch of people don't want to fight that kid either.
No.
Was there anybody on this upcoming card that you have that a lot of people are turning down? You don't have to say any names or anything.
No, I definitely won't throw anybody under the bus. That's not. They just won't want to work with me.
You've done 9 fucking BTC shows now. There must have been times where guys. I'm not just talking about this card itself, but like just through your experience, is there one fighter that you can say nobody ever wants to fucking fight this guy, or this guy's the hardest guy to find a fight for?
There's lots of guys that are difficult to pair up. Ascenza's always tough to find guys to fight him and complete a camp. No.
I want to see him and Pfister this weekend.
On wood. Pfister was for the first time in a while, like the first opponent that was contracted to fight him that has
stayed through.
Gonna see it through.
Thank God.
This time last year when we were in Windsor, Caleb. His last name's escaping
It'll
me.
come
From
to you.
Florida, ATT in Florida. Well, I want to say Caleb Williams. Monday, he pulled out fight week.
Ugh.
Now, I think they over the weekend they're like, look, we got a bit of an issue here. He's got a staph infection. We got to see how it goes. And then Monday was like, oh, it's gone into his blood. Like it's legit. Like he's admitted to the hospital, yada, yada, fight off. Mm-hmm. And that was, the call came in on Monday that there was an issue. Adam was in cutting weight in the hotel on the Wednesday when they finally pulled the chute.
Oh,
so that was like, you get so close and have that stuff happen. Happens a lot, but any, I don't know, like Siri, he's a tough guy now, especially. He's tough to pair up, or at least have guys finish camps on him. Matt Special's another guy from this area that's
I've heard about him too a lot now.
But both him and Siri are 4-0, I want to say. So it's like really, there's not a lot to be like, forget it. I'm not doing it.
What I've found, at least with my experiences, once guys get to that 4-5-0 mark, people don't really want to fight them just due to the fact that, okay, this guy's a killer, but nobody really knows him. So
and it's blind denial too. They won't. It'll be like on the phone within seconds. Like, do you want to fight so and so 5-0? Like, no.
Yeah.
Why not?
Give us a reason.
Why not?
He's 5-0. That's why. I'm sorry, Rob.
Just
that's why I don't want to fight him.
Assuming that he's a murderer.
Yeah.
Because he's undefeated at 5-0. Most of the time, you're going to run into a murderer, but at least do some research first, right? But I mean, you can't force these guys to take fights if they don't want to, and if you sort of not force them to do it, but convince them, or if you have to really do work to convince them, odds are they're not showing up anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Because you can already feel that vibe off of them
instantly,
right?
Yep.
And then you don't want that like late fight week pull out.
The best of the guys with the contracts, so you get a real good idea of the commitment this person's got. If you send him a contract on Monday and you have it signed and returned by Wednesday, all right, he's good. I'm not worried about this so much.
This guy's in.
But if it's like Friday and you're like, you asked for it on Wednesday, like, where's the contract? Like, oh, did you send it?
Shut up.
Shut
your fucking mouth. If I'm asking you, I fucking sent it.
Well, there's always the email, and then it's like the text of the message, like, I just sent the contract. Let me know that you got it. Like, yep, got it. Cool. 5 days that they haven't even got into the email type of thing. So you get an idea of
easily
what. So you kind of like circle some names, like, all right, maybe we want to find a backup for this guy or that guy.
Yeah. So what's your strategy in terms of matchmaking fights, matchmaking a card? So let's talk about as a whole. So you're saying you guys roughly, I think you're going to have an event in November, you're saying. So we're in February, just about to be in March.
Part of my problem is that I'll digress from conversations and go all over the place. Dude,
that's what this whole fucking podcast is about, dude.
You asked me like half an hour ago
what the rest of the schedule is. I don't give a shit. We're going to find out that regardless.
June 6th is Burlington.
Yeah.
August 22nd, Brampton.
B-Town.
Yeah. November 21st is the Meridian Center in St. Catharines.
Okay.
So to answer your question from yesterday, that's the schedule.
So St. Catharines, November, right? Yeah. That's what you're saying. So we're however many months away. I know you have a bunch of cards before that, but you're starting from scratch. What's your strategy? Because like we've talked about it already a little bit. There's a lot of fights I usually pull out during fight week or weigh-in day or medicals don't get cleared or anything like that. Do you have like, okay, I'm going to attempt to book fucking 12 or 15 fights, knowing that 6 or 7 of them are going to drop off?
What's
your strategy?
That's the goal, is to basically start nice and close because you want the local guys on there.
Yeah.
Right. So you pair them up and just sort of branch out from there. Ideally, it's always fun when like I could put a hypothetical card for 12 on paper today and it would be like 20 fights deep.
Okay.
Right. Just because they're dicking around going like, oh, this would be cool. This would be cool. Regardless of whether or not so-and-so's contracted here, there, or wherever. It's 20 deep.
Yeah.
And then when it comes time to submit to the commission, if I'm like this one here, I submitted the first one like well before Christmas, like almost right after the November show. I had my proposals ready to rock. There's 10 per sheet. I had a page and a half of bouts to submit to the commission. And I just sent them like the final one last night and there's 9.
Oh, wow.
stuff
They
happens.
just return it back to you and be like, hey.
No, it just he'll look at it and he'll approve them and have his notes or whatever, medicals or whatever. And then as guys fall off, it just gets shorter and shorter, or they jump from one card to another.
It's such a tough fucking business, dude.
But you have to go, like, ideally for me, I would like to have 10 minimum. Mm-hmm. That's like my goal, but 12 is like the ideal amount of fights. 6 o'clock, if we're going to start at 6, or 12 fights, you're still running 5 hours deep at minimum, especially if there's a title fight or 2 on there or whatever.
Exactly.
You're running a long night. So fans get restless, you know what I mean? So, and
it's tough to sit through even a 6-hour UFC event. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So,
I don't give a shit. I'm totally down. But like the normal casual event
for us working it too, it's like,
yeah,
just get on with it.
Yeah. That's true.
Because I got another show to plan. We
we got number 10, motherfucker.
Let's tear this thing down so we can put it right back up again in a couple months. But so ideally, like the ideal number would be 10 to 12 for sure.
Rolling into fight week, 10 to 12.
Yeah, well,
but then event night,
come fight night, I would like 12.
I
mean, I know
because one of your past events had 5, right? Like due to whatever bullshit. I'm not sure what was surrounding that.
August 2019 did not happen. I fell asleep January 31st. I woke up in September. Angry summer was over.
Okay.
Okay.
We don't speak about it. It's the time that must not be named.
The fun thing about that one, though, was that, it was brutal. We got our teeth kicked in.
Yeah.
As far as the ability to have local fighters and stuff like that. Like, that was such a friggin' nightmare.
That's mainly the Owama crew over there, right? Ottawa.
That's the weird thing about Ottawa is that it's such a fight town. Like, crew Jeff Harrison's got, he's doing big things up there now. He's got New Era, which is where Matteo Vogel trains.
Okay.
He's one of Jeff's students. They've got, I think, 3 locations now in like a short period of time. He's blowing up. There's Owama's obviously very big out there.
It's like the staple gym, Nick Castiglia, right?
Nick Castiglia, he's on his own now. He's got a Gracie Baja club now.
Is he Owama still, or no, he's cut ties?
Yeah,
interesting.
Barhaven, what I believe his gym was called, or maybe is still called Barhaven Academy of Martial Arts.
Okay.
Up there, huge fight community for sure. Gatineau's super close. Yep. There's a lot of dudes.
We did Rec MMA up there a couple times.
Yep.
I remember going out for that shit.
Which is another Nick was involved with that with Pat and those guys. But it just was not, no matter what. It was another one of those cards when it was like, where should we go to next? It's like, Ottawa. I really think we should go to Ottawa. And here's why. And it's a list a mile long of different dudes. And like, I don't have a ton of free time.
Yeah.
But I'm always thinking about fights and making matchups. And this would be a good spot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So here's why we should go to Ottawa. Perfect. Let's go. And there was one Ottawa/Gatineau representative on the card on fight night. And I thought, given the combat sports community, the support would be outrageous, would be huge. Even unfortunately, the certain gyms weren't represented on the card, whatever, they'd still come out to check it out and blah, blah, blah.
No. Wow.
Fuck you.
They're
not coming.
Bitch.
That's how it felt. It was like a big, big, it was really unfortunate.
That's such a bitch.
And I there's a lot of people up there that I'm really fond of, and they're hardworking. They're doing really good things up there. But it would be to go back up there, man. I don't know.
I feel like I'm just watching your heartbreak relive. Yeah, well, that's the thing,
because it was like, for one thing, I feel like I'm responsible because it was really my idea to go up there because it's boom, this is such a great spot, and for it to go the way it went. Was
it due to fights dropping out, or what?
You name it.
Everything, any and everything happened.
You name it, man. You name it.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was tough. There was a couple of people that were super, super picky when it came to who their opponent would be, which just got like ridiculous. That was a lot of it. There was injuries. There was contracts preventing certain things, whatever. A lot of different stuff. All that negative BS aside, 5 fights, not ideal. However, the 5 fights that we did have, bonkers.
First round finishes.
Absolute bonkers.
Yeah.
It was, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And then the fact that the commission's like, okay, you need to take a break. We're like, come on, what? Like,
keep this momentum going.
We're almost done for starters.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You have 1 fight or 2 fights that have a break when there's 3 left. And he's like, no, you have to have a doctor at the cage.
Yeah.
He's back there. Got to have a break. All right. Well, no problem. I mean, it worked out, but it was, and that'll never happen again. There's no way that any fight card's going to have all first round finishes.
No.
No chance.
Especially with at least a minimum of 5 fights.
And competitive fights.
Yeah.
As well, right?
It's kind of shitty that it turned out that way for you guys with Ottawa, strictly due to the fact that I don't think there are any like Ottawa-based promotions out there or doing anything out there.
No, which is again why we.
There never really was. There was the couple of rec shows in Gatineau. That was about it, right? Like,
yeah, well, like Gatineau is like, we're in your house here is Ottawa, across the street is Gatineau. Like it's super close. So they would just go over there because the fees were way cheaper.
Oh yeah.
Right, but they did I don't know, a bunch of pro shows, not a ton of them, a handful of pro shows and a shitload of amateur shows.
Yeah.
Like they were doing the thing.
It's just so fucking unfortunate because like
there's a market for it.
That was their opportunity, the town's opportunity for their MMA community to come together and support a show that they could potentially have their fighters eventually on as well. And
the other thing too is that those from Ottawa that have competed like close to home, it's in Gatineau, never in Ottawa.
Yeah. So that's something that they could have touted easily. You know what I mean? I hope you guys do actually go back there too, because I think that there is
I'm still a little sour about it, for sure. But
it's definitely not on the 2020 docket though.
No.
Sorry, Ottawa. 2021.
Like I say, there's so many people up there that deserve an opportunity.
Yeah.
That have earned an opportunity to compete at home, and you know, whether that's one last one before they retire, before they move to the next level, or just because.
Yeah.
You know. But
do you remember Nick Denis?
Yeah, he was in the
UFC. The Ninja of Love. Yeah.
The Ninja of Love.
Yeah. Do you know where the fuck? I remember after he retired or something, he just went off the grid and built his own house or something. I had him on my college radio show one time, like years ago, and we just like chatted about our love for shawarma because it's a shawarma city, right?
Nice.
Super cool dude, but he always talked about like his love for wanting to just live off the grid, build his own home, and do all that type of shit. And I'm just like, I would love to fucking talk to that guy again, but. Sure. There's no fucking way of reaching him. I don't know. I Google his name and the last thing you see is like an article from 5 years ago or some shit.
Sure. You have to go to the woods, man.
Yeah, exactly. Legit, like, exactly. Ninja of Love.
Yeah.
Are you here? And you just see fucking grizzly bear come out.
A red maple leaf.
Just cross.
What are those things called?
Like a thong, but with like the maple leaf.
That's it.
That's awesome. So BTC 9. Kitchener. I got my tickets already. I'm going with my man Z. He's coming down from fucking.
I came bearing gifts, by the way.
Oh, did you?
I've been hanging on to this thing. I've been hanging on to this thing the entire time.
What did you bring for me? I hope it's a large because I've been getting a little pudgy. Oh, sick. You guys, that's perfect. Look at that. BTC 9, Rampage, Kitchener, Ontario. That's for me. I appreciate it, brother. That's so bomb. That's awesome.
Not a large, but
don't worry, I'll fucking squeeze into it and look like a Michelin man when I come to the fights.
Or just bring it and we'll swap it out. We have larges.
Let's keep this going for at least another half hour because I don't just want to talk BTC.
I got nothing but time, bro.
Let's just talk about the fucking happenings that are going on in MMA. Like you're in the regional scene, that's what you're kind of focused on right now. But you're still paying attention to like the UFC, boxing, all that type of shit. Yeah. What'd you think of the Wilder and Fury fight?
That I thought the entrances were interesting, but also like a little over the top.
I didn't mind it.
I didn't hate it.
Okay.
But I'm like,
a little long. The fact that Fury had to go in there and start shadowboxing and hitting pads with his coach while he's waiting for Wilder to come out. But I didn't mind the spectacle of it just because it was like a huge fucking event.
Yeah, and it's something people are talking about it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of neat. And it's nice to have some sort of personality with the generally, whether it be boxing or mixed martial arts, where it's like personality everyone wants.
Yeah.
But like very few have.
Yeah.
So to be able to do that, even just like the dance is like Israel Adesanya.
Yeah. Good on you for trying to get the pronunciation there. So, I know Ariel is a stickler for that shit.
But like his dance and stuff, I had no time for Michelle Pereira's
antics. Yeah.
I didn't like what he was doing in the Tristan Connolly fight.
That's what got him to the show, though. That's what got him to the show.
I know, but like,
I get it.
Like, I understand capoeira is a form of combat sports or whatever, and that's neat. And it's cool
That's
to
the
see.
Perfect word for it.
It's neat.
Neat.
But like, if you got a guy coming that wants to like, let's box, whatever, and then you do like a backflip over him or something like that, yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah.
But for like this long.
Yeah.
15 minutes, whatever, and the fact that he lost to Connolly, the way that he did, tip of the cap to Connolly for that whole thing.
Going up in weights
for his next fight, Pereira's next fight, to start doing that dumb shit before he even was like made the walk. Your focus is to get in there and go to work.
Yeah. Not throwing an illegal knee.
Especially the guy that's got cardio issues. What are you doing breakdance before you come down here?
Yeah. Leave that to fucking Israel.
It's not like me when I leave here wheezing by the time I get to the top of the stairs. Different thing.
Completely different story there.
This guy has suspect cardio.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
To his credit, though, he didn't look that bad.
No, he looked a lot better.
His cardio looked decent, especially considering his altitude.
I felt kind of bad for him when he kneed him in the face.
Yeah.
I'm like, this fight's 100% over.
Yeah.
Because Diego Sanchez is already living on another planet.
Yeah.
But you just sent him to like
the next planet over. Yeah.
And what are you doing? Like, that wasn't even close.
Yeah.
Like, to the chest, another full on. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And he wasn't doing that dumb shit like he was doing against Connolly.
No.
So it was really unfortunate. But to spin her back to the Wilder thing like that, outfit of his was insane, wild.
I can't believe they fucking
dare I say wild?
Fuck you, Rob. Can't believe you went there. And now this whole news thing coming out about him saying it was due to his fucking outfit that he came out to, which is why his legs were all fucked up and blah 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 blah. Like, I wish he just kept his mouth shut, because you can still go out there and respect the guy. Take the loss, bro, like a man. And he himself should know, being the type of man that he is, saying something like that is probably not going to come off the best. So now we have this little bit of a smidgen on the legacy of this fight when we talk about it in history now. The guy is, saying he lost because of the fact that he came out with a 45-pound suit or whatever the fuck it was. Like,
just nuts in its own right. Like,
yeah. I thought I was reading an Onion article or some shit. I was like, are you kidding me? Yeah. No, it was from Ariel and fucking Lance Pugmire.
The decimal point missing, the 4.5 pound.
Exactly. You know, please tell me it's a fucking...
But I think, too, where maybe it was kind of messed up was where I read that he didn't try it on until the night before. Like, hard pass. So just
especially with as intricate as it was, you got to be a little bit more prepared.
I would think so. And the fact he didn't have his gloves until, like... late.
I don't know about, what do you mean?
Yeah, it's like the gloves had not arrived. So there was a bit of a problem with that. But anyway, when people get married, they put their suit on or their dress on months in advance.
Dude, I got my ceremony. I'm getting married in June. Unfortunately, which is why I'm going to miss the June card, because same day as my wedding, motherfucker.
That's good. Congratulations.
Thank you. But yeah, I just literally got my ceremony suit last weekend, and it's 3 months out. Yeah. My actual suit is coming next weekend for the reception.
Yeah.
I completely understand what you're saying. And for a big stage like this, you better have this shit 2 months in advance. Whose idea was it?
Well, the costume thing, then you start to, 6 months out, you're now detailing your costume opposed to getting your rounds in or doing your laps, whatever. People are going to criticize regardless, right? No matter which way you slice it, they're gonna. He could walk down with a baseball hat. I'm like, stupid fucking hat. Who wears
Looks like a dork.
Who wears a fitted anymore?
That's so true. It's crazy that he had to go that far above and beyond. Like, I like the one that he did the fight before that, where it was just like the gold face mask plus the gold crown. That looked cool. Yeah. You could see his eyes and all that. This just looked like something out of Transformers or some shit. You know what I mean? It had the LED lights under the padding, and the Deontay Wilder logo was like glowing and shit.
Like, taking forever to come out and
It's unfortunate that he's going to be like exercising his rematch clause now too. So we're probably going to get number 3.
That's okay though.
Makes no sense. I don't know. That's just me. Like, we saw what's going to happen. They're getting paid, But I think that if he went out there and made more of a name for himself again, like started to knock out motherfuckers again,
sure,
people would be clamoring for the fight once again. You know what I mean? Then he can build a case for himself. I think
too
he got outclassed. He got completely outclassed in this fight. Nothing that you can tell me that was going to say Wilder's going to win this fight, other than the fact that he always has his right hand. But didn't look like he was going to land that.
So then what are your thoughts on Cejudo and Aldo?
Motherfucker.
I love Jose Aldo.
Oh, trust me too. I went to the McGregor and Aldo fight and was crying a little bit afterwards.
Sure, for sure.
But
why? Because you spent all that money for nothing? Like 13 seconds?
I loved it. I fucking, the whole week was great. I like the fight from an entertainment standpoint. In terms of, justification and who actually deserves what. This fight makes absolutely no fucking sense. You know what I mean? And the sad part about it is Jose Aldo is probably going to go out there and actually beat Cejudo. That's a huge possibility.
See, the thing is, like, Cejudo's a guy, like, especially now, myself included, everybody wants to root against him.
Yes. Yeah. Right? But we are talking about him way more than we ever talked about Demetrius Johnson.
Yeah, well, but that's sort of where I was going with it. It's like he's like Colby, he's like Connor to some degree, where people just dislike him.
Yeah.
Not that I'm going to be like, oh, I can't wait to see Aldo bash his head in. Let me buy or tune in or whatever
the fuck.
I'm not that kind of a fan.
Yeah,
If it's a good looking, I'm in.
Yeah.
Right? But people are like, I hate that guy. I'm going to buy it so that I see him maybe get his head kicked.
The Floyd Mayweather approach, right?
But I don't think, Aldo looked good at 35.
That's what I mean.
Right?
Like his stock rose after the Moraes fight, even though he lost.
Though, man.
But it was a loss. Yeah. It was absolutely a loss. I did a whole fucking podcast about that fight, saying Moraes won that round. It all came down to the third round, and Moraes won that round, in my opinion. Again, I'm okay with the fight now that I'm like, it's official. There's nothing we can fucking do. Yeah. It's not like we can put out a petition.
Matters anyway either, right?
Exactly.
Wait, we can do one of those change.org petitions. Like,
get it passed by the fucking Senate and shit.
1 million signatures. Like, hey guys, I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to put this fight on.
Exactly.
You're still going to buy it.
They'll probably do Sterling and Yan now, which is probably the next fight to make.
That's the sick fight.
Should be
35 is interesting right now.
Very, very interesting. I hope Cody Garbrandt's able to get his shit together too. And he's training with Mark Henry now and over in New Jersey, splitting time, I think, between Alpha Male and those guys. So it should be interesting to see who does he have coming up?
Back too.
Yeah, I think he's fighting a Sunsow next. Cody.
Okay.
Yeah, not a bad fight.
Jeez.
Decent fight to come back to. Tough fight to come back to at least.
For sure.
And then hopefully I guess we're not going to get Faber TJ anytime soon. TJ's still out to like 21, I think, right? Because he was out for 2 years.
That's not that far away. Like they will.
Now that I'm thinking about it,
they'll be booking shows or like fights in August soon.
Yeah,
and then the year's already half over at that point. So
I guess you can make an argument for having that fight get booked.
TJ and Faber.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll do that for sure.
Grudge match.
They'll 100%.
Even though Faber just got smashed by Yan. Doesn't matter. No. It's a good fight for TJ to come back to after that hiatus.
It's a tough one for Faber to do. Like, there's a lot of legacy.
Yeah.
Like student and the teacher type of thing. Like,
there's a lot of story going into that one too. Actually, I do want to touch on one more thing for BTC. Is there a story you would say that is going into BTC? Like, I think there was something surrounding James Clark in segment, but unfortunately that one's off the card now too. But is there something that you can like spin and be like, whether it's even about Troy, you know what I mean? He unfortunately missed out on his opportunity with looking for a fight.
Yeah, well, Jesse and Troy, that's somehow these two dudes who live like within 3 hours of one another.
Yeah.
Came up relatively similar times, never crossed paths for whatever reason. So that's kind of neat that after all these years, we're finally going to get an opportunity to see
close to home too
that fight shake down. And there's legit people coming up from Detroit and East Lansing coming up to support Troy. So that's one story. I think the Jesse Ronson thing for sure. Adam Assenza and Cody Pfister, not that they like had words or anything like that at last year in March in Windsor, but I know that like for Adam being heartbroken that he wasn't able to compete. See Cody compete for a title, the way that he fought like really well and was in the fight, had him sort of like, okay, like that's a fight that I would like to have.
You're on the list, motherfucker.
Yeah, you're on the list.
Yeah.
So that's
that's a bit of a story right there.
But it's more of I would say a personal one for Adam than it would be for everything. Like it's just one that he's definitely was like fucking. Yeah, that would be a good fight. Like I think I would do well against him. UFC vet, the whole bit. Like I think this would be a good one for the fans, but also for me to go in there and take him out.
Another thing about your matchmaking, when you are thinking about like headliners, there's only a certain pool of guys that you can really draw from, right? It could be a very well-known local guy. I mean, I think you could headline with Scott Hudson probably in the Burlington area. I'm not 100% sure. But how do you really determine those guys that are
the fight itself has a lot to do with it.
The matchup and how exciting it could be.
Yeah. Okay. Experience. Like for example, Troy and Ronson, like sick fight.
Yeah.
Awesome fight. I put that one above Sagman and Clark. So Sagman and Clark would be co-main event to that main event. Like that's a fucking.
Bellator does the same shit. Like it doesn't matter though.
I don't subscribe to the theory that that title fights must be the main event, whether 5 rounds or whatever. If it doesn't make sense, or I hate to say it, if we don't want to fucking do it,
yeah. I love the rawness right there.
Not to be a dick, but it's like, we'll structure the card how we feel that it's best.
The best promoted
for the night.
Like that's another thing. Though.
Well, sure,
because you got to promote it at the end of the day, right? And the main thing that gets promoted is the main event, and like it said, no shots at Clark and Sagman.
None
like it's,
whatsoever.
Even though it's for a title, not a lot of people know who those guys are. But this would have been the event to shine the light on these guys.
Yep.
Right. And we need Ronson and Lamson to come, or Lamson to come in and actually.
But the other thing too, in which I touched on it right at the beginning, was I remember way back early days of the score where the place will be full for the first bell. And I think it was like Craig Hudson fought John McPherson. Craig knocked him out. Adam's up. He fought John Roach, I want to say.
Your memory is way better than mine, so I'm going to chalk it up to you, dude.
I think so. Then he, Adam won, and he leaves the cage, and there's people just leaving.
Yeah. Yep.
Fuck, he's going. They're leaving. Like, fuck it. I came to watch him. He fought.
Yeah.
We're going next door.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this is Ronson is as close to home as it's going to be for now. He's going to have people coming.
Yeah.
All due respect to James and Gabe, both have strong fan bases who were supporting or are supporting this fight. Jesse fights before them. The place empties out.
Yeah.
And then there's, the fans of the two sides that are left. I'd like to have a packed house from jump to finish.
And kind of we ran into that with Score Fighting Series in Sarnia. I don't know if you went out to that one.
Definitely not.
Fuck Sarnia.
I've never been to Sarnia. The only reason I know about Sarnia is because of our good friend Woodrow James. Outside of that,
that's another motherfucker I'm trying to get in here, but I think he's too camera shy. But we had John Fraser fight Tyler Toner. And Fraser, I believe he won. I think it was his birthday too, which is the funny thing. And the crowd emptied. Still one more fight. Chris Ordesky against Brian Campbell, I think the guy's name was.
Okay.
Like that, you can't control that. The only way you can control that is by actually, doing what you guys are doing, is putting Jesse Ronson in the main event. But we kind of had our hands tied with Chris Ordesky being the biggest name on the card.
Sure.
And the fact that we were on Access TV at that time too.
Right.
So you had to
That's
balance it.
That's a different story too, yeah, because now you're catering to two different audiences.
Exactly, not just the live crowd, but the broadcast crowd as well too. And that fight ended up with a cut, and they just had to TKO that fight in 3 minutes. You could
do it like how Bellator does it. And they'll
post limbs.
They'll book 20 fights and have a post limb.
You got to kind of give it up to them though, because that's not too bad of a business scheme, considering that those other fights, those the remaining 13 fights or whatever, are local guys. That's all they do. Whenever they used to come to Ontario.
But it's because they keep the fans there. So they have the TV audience on DAZN, Paramount, wherever the hell it is. And the place looks packed.
Yeah.
All right, great. And then after the cameras turn off, there's 6 other fights or whatever it is after that.
There's like 12 people in the crowd.
I get it. Yeah. But that's the
makes
thing,
fucking
because
sense.
if they have all the local guys up first, everyone's going to bail. Then you flip the cameras on and there's 15 people in the crowd. You're like, dang, like, Bellator's getting rinsed here.
Yeah. I do want to get back to just regular MMA talk. Yeah. Your thoughts on Jones and Reyes? Who won that fight? Or can you say you watched it?
Love to call it a draw.
Fuck a draw. Give me that 10-9 month system. Give me that shit.
We need to see more draws.
I'm not for that. Like I get it. There are some fights out there that you can say 100% a draw. Like, and by draw I mean that you have to score around 10-10. Mm-hmm. But if it's like a 10-8 mixed in with 2 10-9s, I get those draws. Those draws are going to happen. But if you're talking about one round, you don't know who the fuck won that round. I don't want that. Like we need definitive. We need a definitive finish. Give me it. Give me it.
The easiest answer is John. Like,
Jones?
Draw.
No, and don't give me. Do not give me that. You got to beat the champ to be the champ. Bullshit. Don't give me that shit. Or the later rounds matter more. Does not matter.
No, the rounds are equal.
Thank you.
I mean, if the rounds meant more 4 and 5, it wouldn't be 52 whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
You would get an extra. It would be 12-9 round or some shit, or 11-9 round. Whatever the fuck.
The number of the round doesn't matter.
Does not.
The fact that the champion needs to be finished, what does that mean?
Makes no sense.
No.
0 sense. Yeah. It's my most irritating pet peeve of all time is hearing. And the amount that I heard after the Jones and Reyes fight, oh my God, I wanted to just like deactivate my Twitter, throw my fucking phone against the wall and just leave this fucking sport. But I thought Reyes won that fight. I thought 1 to 3. 1, 2, and 3 he won. 3 obviously being the closest, or actually 2 was probably the closest round after you watch it back. But a lot of people chalked it up to number 3.
The big thing too is that, and I guess it doesn't matter because I have to hand the scorecards in after each round. But it's like 4 and 5 are so strong, you could argue that they're like, oh, of course he won.
Just give him 3. It's fine.
Just give it to him.
Yeah.
But no, I think that's definitely like, because it's, especially, and I'll sit on, if there's a fence, I'm sitting on it.
Fuck you, dude.
100%. 100%. I have to own that. I have to own that.
That's one thing that I've found with like podcasts and all that shit. Now you need to have like a strong opinion on one side or the other for people to actually want to tune in and listen to what the fuck you're saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you do, as much as it is comfortable on the fence and being like, I can see both sides, you want to eventually hop off that leg and jump on the other side.
Well, sure, because then people are going to like, well, tune in because what's this idiot going to say this week?
Oh, you think Jones won? What a dork.
Or they're like, fucking right. Reyes won that fight.
Exactly.
Like, I respect this guy's opinion. I'm going to tune in again.
Follow. Subscribe.
Right.
No,
but I think there's no question they have to do a rematch.
Well, what are your thoughts on open scoring? Because that's something that's going around a lot. Kansas is not going to be, Missouri, Kansas or Missouri. One of those 2 states are going to be.
No, I think wherever Invicta does their thing,
it's either,
which is in Kansas City, Missouri.
Missouri. Okay, so Missouri's testing it out.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I think that there's pros and cons to it.
Mm-hmm.
The main con I would think is that if you know you're up 2-0, but it's close, you're just going to click up in a neutral and just coast, play defense, run away, heaven forbid.
I have the perfect rebuttal to that.
They got to get those cards out like Pride, get the yellow cards and shit. Like,
well, not just that, but there's the flip side. There's the opponent now who knows he's down 2-0 and needs to go balls to the wall and either get a 10-8 or get a finish. So is it gonna be the wrestler? Like it depends on obviously the fighter that's up 2-0. It depends on their cardio, whether they're going to be able to go out there and grapple fuck this guy for another 3 minutes or another 5 minutes, so I can get that cruise control game plan that you're talking about. But then there's the fight like I don't know if you watched the last fight, the Auckland card. Did you get to see any of the fights there? There's one fight, Magomed Mustafayev versus Brad Riddell. Mustafayev tried to go out there and grapple fuck him for 2 rounds. 3rd round, he was completely gassed, and Riddell went out there and just completely just ragdolled him for that 5 minutes. I think it's a double-edged sword. Riddell ended up winning because he won the 2nd and 3rd round, at least in my opinion. It was a split decision. But it's a double-edged sword. It's one guy going to try to cruise and try to stall out that 5 minutes, but then you got another guy that's going balls to the wall, trying to get that finish, trying to get that 10 round.
Run at you, and the guy that wants to coast is going to turn around and run away from him.
No, they have warnings for that shit.
For sure. How many times have you seen it?
It doesn't happen that often though, but we've definitely, like, I think they warned Overeem about it one time when he fought Stipe or some shit, but like
maybe
that was about
probably
it.
The most recent and only. Yeah. But that's where they need to tighten some stuff up. Like in the back before the fight goes on, don't grab the fence, don't kick in the groin, don't knee a down opponent in the face.
Yep.
The guy grabs the fence, like, sir, don't grab the fence.
Yeah.
Like,
should be strict.
Sir, don't grab the fence. Now they slap the hand. Don't grab the fence. Take a point.
Yeah, exactly. From the get-go.
You warned them ahead of time.
You're a 20-fight veteran. You know these are the rules. And these rules are pretty synonymous.
That's the stuff that irritates me.
Yeah. These rules are synonymous with all the fucking organizations all over the world.
And the guy is there and it's instinct to grab it, whether you're being taken down or whatever. I remember at 8, I think last year, in the fall, there was a like full grab through the cage that the ref couldn't see it, right? Because he's looking at it like this, but full where I was sitting, I look up and you
can see like just fucking fingers.
Like, oh man! Like, what do I do at that point?
Yeah,
like, I just gotta sit and
you're the fucking matchmaker. You can't take sides here.
Hey, and it wouldn't even know who it is. It's just a head buried. Maybe you see the tape color, right? But you got to shut your mouth.
Yeah,
but I don't think there should be any like the warning. You get the warning in the room, in the back room. And sometimes they go over it before the match. All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a reminder.
Question here. That's it.
Yeah.
Remember what the fuck I told you in the back. That's it.
I have a question. Like, do I get 1 or 2 warnings when I grab the fence? Like,
how lenient are you going to be if I need this guy in the head?
Yeah.
On the ground.
That's the thing. Just don't cut him.
Yeah.
And you're cool.
Yeah.
All right.
How difficult do you find it to separate yourself from matchmaker to fan? Because you started off as a fan, right? Yeah, you're a fan of MMA.
Yep.
But now you probably have the best fucking seat in the world
only
in terms
now.
of MMA. Only now.
Only now, no, because like the very first show, I'd be in like the tunnel.
Oh yeah?
Watching, like, super nervous, like how the fuck is this going to go?
Was that by choice that you were standing in the tunnel? Or now you're...
Yeah. Oh, okay. 100%. Because I was like, I don't like just nervous, like how's this going to pan out? Like now 100% comfortable with the whole thing of how these shows are going.
Yeah.
And all that sort of stuff. And 8, I was like cage side. Special got his opponent's blood splashed on my hand. So like that's how close. But that was the first time I'd sat from wire to wire.
Yeah.
At the cage, and it is the absolute greatest seat in the house.
Yeah.
Without question. I turn the fan switch on when the lights go down and Pete Trevino calls the first fight.
Nice.
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Right. And then of course I do have some running around and work stuff to do.
For sure.
But 100% fan.
The one thing I miss about like old UFC or old-ish UFC is Joe Silva's reactions. That guy you could always see him in the background just like, oh shit.
Yeah, he would flip out.
Like he was legitimately a fucking fan. So it's great that you get to like you have the business aspect of it, but then you're able to go in there and enjoy your work. Because this is you fucking putting these guys together.
Yeah, that's one thing too, that at the end of the night, super proud of the hard work that I put into it. But the team, again, it's a very small group of people that we have doing a relatively massive thing.
You guys are on number 9. You guys are breaking the record now. Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. But what goes into it behind the scenes that no one has any clue about. I get messages, and God love her, Sherry. She works so damn hard.
Yeah.
But I'll wake up and I'll have a message at like 3:15.
Yeah.
We should do this, or could you do this, whatever. And then 4:45, there's another one.
Yep.
Right? She's always up thinking, working, boom, boom, boom. This is a woman that hated the thing. BTC 1, BTC 2, not a fan.
Wow.
And now she's hooked. She loves it.
Yeah.
But we're such a tight-knit group. We all work extremely hard on it. So yeah, at the end of the night, we're all proud of everything that we've accomplished to the date, how the show went. Okay, but also where did we slip up? Where can we improve?
Yeah.
What were some really great aspects of things that we really need to do more of, or whatever? I'm watching the fight through 2 eyes, like matchmaker, fan, and then at the end of, actually, I think after the second or third fight at one of the events, I was like, okay, I have a fight for, I think, no, Burlington last year. After the second fight, I had a fight in my mind done.
Did you November. Like email it to the crew? Like,
myself. I emailed it to myself so I wouldn't forget.
Yeah.
But then like in the back room, I'm like, yo, what do you think about him? And he's like, what could I, what do you, yeah, that's a good fight.
Next BTC 5, it's you guys. I miss that shit. Like I miss because it's a 24/7 job. There are no weekends. You know what I mean? A guy pulls out on fucking Saturday during your kid's fucking birthday or some shit. You got to address it somehow, or at least pass it off to somebody that can address it for you, right? It's a 24/7 job. I remember those 2 a.m. fucking emails, those 3 a.m. emails, and they need like an answer.
Especially dealing with the West Coast, right? Like it's
that's
12
another
o'clock.
thing.
It's 12 o'clock here. I'm okay. Let's shut her down, type of thing. And then it's like, brrr, it's 9 over there. They're just finishing training or whatever. And it's like, well, what do you mean I'm waking you up? It's 9 o'clock, dude. I'm like, no, dude, it's 12. Can beat it.
Yeah, you know? Exactly.
But it's a 24/7 job for sure. Like even this weekend with the James stuff, I knew I had like minutes really to fix this up so that Gabe could fight on Saturday. So my weekend, especially in the wintertime, are loaded. Hockey at 9, hockey at 11 or 12, cheer at 2:30,
Jesus.
Whatever.
The fuck else do you do, dude?
Yeah, work.
You just got a regular 9 to 5, and then you're doing this other MMA shit on the side. That's pretty much everybody in the MMA industry, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Me too. Like, I literally just hopped off the fucking train, took a quick shower, and Rob was outside my door. Yeah. That's pretty much all it is.
It's a full-time gig for sure. For sure. And it's definitely, it's passion. Like right off the hop of this whole thing's a fucking passion.
Exactly.
It's not.
That's what drives us though, right?
Yeah. We're working towards this being a full-time thing. One day fuck the Lotto Max.
Yeah.
The dream is to do something like this.
This is
on
the
a
Lotto
full-time
Max.
basis. Just let me be comfortable.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. But let me do this job. And they're like, you're nuts. Like it's a 24/7 job.
Yeah.
You're trying to watch your kids in their playoff hockey games, but you're also trying to like, hey, so-and-so, like
this guy dropped
25 next week. But what do you think?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's really tough. And at home, it's just as difficult because it's like, fuck you doing?
Yeah.
Like, can we please watch The Office?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I just want to get whatever is going on. Like, can we just,
like,
be right there.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, it's fucking time for bed. You fall asleep. The phone rings.
And you're right back at it again.
I'm getting better at balancing the two things. Like sometimes I'll just get up early, right? Because nobody's bugging you at 5 a.m. Because even at West, those guys are sleeping at 2 a.m, right? So you get up at 4:30. Today I was up at 4.
Damn.
But banging away, like boom, 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 and it was quiet. Although I did a message for Sherry, but that's cool. I love it because that pushes me that much further. Like I'm not doing this. Like I'm not thinking about this stuff 24/7 alone.
Yeah, you have a team.
She's right there. Like I say, so she really pushes me to like, let's dig deep and keep going. And she does a great job of doing that for everybody.
For the most part, it seems like the crew has stuck together since BTC 1.
Yeah. Oh, hell
Safe to say, right?
Yeah.
Like the core group of people that have been there since the first one all the way up until now.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys have, like you said, well-oiled machine. You guys know kind of what needs to be ticked off for each event, venue, police, all that type of shit that goes into
that's the
all
easy
the logistical shit, right?
That's the easy
Do you
stuff.
deal with that stuff, or is it you're like matchmaking plus business, like
sort of, right? Yeah, mostly
not strictly matchmaking.
Definitely not strictly matchmaking, but it's mostly matchmaking and ideas and whatever. But
input,
the stuff, simple stuff like we have stools for the commission judges or whoever to sit on. Somehow they've grown additional legs and disappeared. So it's like Tuesday or whatever, Sherry's like, we don't have the chair. Can you quickly zip over to IKEA and pick this stuff up? Like literally no one else is around. And I don't need, no one else is around. Can you do it? It's like, can you do it? And it's like, yeah, all right, I'll go and do it right now.
I remember those just random fucking tasks.
You gotta get stuff.
We need tape. Go get tape. Okay, cool.
That's something done. That can't be done by one person. You know what I mean? Like, and Sherry too. The thing that nobody really knows is she has a very demanding full-time job.
Oh wow!
And she's at work at 7:30, and she's there till 5. Goes to the gym, and job number 2.
Wow.
Banging it out. And like she's all like so business minded. She's always thinking, which is why at 3 a.m, you got to know, because if you don't send it right then and there, you're not remembering that.
That's true.
Right. So it's like, just let me shoot it off and go.
Who's the team? You, Sherry,
Irene, Sherry, myself. Vlad is, he's taken on each show basically he takes on more and more. He's still a student and stuff like that. So it's not like he's got tons of hours to devote, but he's really good at doing things like organizing the ambulance and the police and the security, gloves, gauze, tape, organizing all that stuff. Like if commission said, okay, your show's tomorrow now, we'd have all our shit in order.
Yeah.
Because of Vlad.
Yeah.
Knows. He's even bugging me. I got to tell him to beat it because he's bugging me. I need an updated hotel list. But that's the furthest thing from my mind when I'm doing my thing.
Yeah.
So I would not remember to shoot that over to whoever's doing that. So he's doing that. He's bugging me. I need glove sizes. I need music. I need this. I need that.
It's good to have like I felt like I was the wild card guy as well, like in terms of
he's super versatile for
anything that trickles through the top people, I'll catch on to and be like, okay, tickets, I want tickets. Yep. Glove sizes, I'm on that shit. Walkout music, I'm on that shit. Like it's good to have that type of
he's
guy.
That guy for sure.
Yeah.
And that's like, I don't know, there's probably a handful of people that are aware that he's involved to the capacity that he is. He does a really great job. One of the I think the strongest aspects of our game or model or whatever you want to call it is the social media.
Patrick, shout out, man.
Patrick, he's behind the camera, so
you don't see
not
his
a lot
face.
of shine.
Yeah,
but
no,
I've been banging the drum for him for as long as he's been doing it, because he joined up I think at 3. I want to say came around at 3, and he's like. What kind of schooling and education? And do you think he's got a PhD in doing this shit?
Jason told me about this. Yeah.
That guy taught himself how to do it all. He's awesome.
That's great.
Does a great job. And he's very creative, very open-minded. He's a huge part of it. And then like I guess tailored to that is dude named Daniel, who works mostly on the gym side of things, but he definitely helps out on the promotion side as well, and him and Patrick will sort of lock horns and get a bunch of stuff done. But that's essentially it for the team. Off the top of my head, I'm sorry if I'm forgetting anyone, but outside of the gang that tears the cage down, puts it up and stuff like that. But depending on where we are, Sherry does most of the setup. Not quite by herself, but pretty much by herself. I'll float in at like noon hour to come check it out, bring my kids and stuff, like check it out and like open a few tables up, throw a tablecloth or two and be like, I helped.
I did my job.
I got to go home have a nap.
Here's my drop in the
What
bucket.
am I going to eat?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I need to, you're having a nap, fuck you.
Yeah. I'm glad that you touched on the social media aspect of it too, because I think that's something that's kind of overlooked with a lot of these regional promotions. Because if you really put into time with good videos, even if it's a fucking 30-second video of like the one that you guys did of Jason at the Odd, that was just a great little spiel to
Which one?
There's one. I just saw one recently where he was just standing in the stands with the rink behind him, and he's talking about the history being made, what the fights come to. Like that's great. Like something as simple as that, but then even a little bit more edited and a little bit more graphic, like what Pat's been doing with some of the fighters and stuff. That's fucking awesome. Like I think you guys even did one on Ergist a couple events ago too when he was fighting for you guys. I thought that was great. Like it opens up the eyes to some people with some of these fighters who may not know who the fighters are, but it also brings a little bit of legitimacy to the promotion itself too, that you guys are going this extra mile to try to promote the fights, not just throwing up your poster wherever the fuck you want or just saying our fights are February 29th, blah blah blah.
Like the biggest thing that, and it's like friction between the athlete and the promoter, because the athlete, we say to the athlete, like, we need you guys to really pump this, really sell it, sell your tickets, blah, 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 blah. And some of them will flip it back and be like, no, my job's to fight, your job's to promote. 100%. But today it's a two-way street. For this whole thing to make sense, we're going to do everything that we can on our side. Put the posters up, put the billboards up, put the sticks on the ground, whatever, do all the social stuff. come here and do this. I'm more than happy to have these types of chit chats and whatever to do my part, so to speak.
Yeah.
I wish I was more active on social. I think there's been a countdown since 10 days out. I think I've shared maybe 2 or 3 of the days.
Yeah.
Like I'm not consistent enough with it, which is fucked because I'm on my phone like all the time. It doesn't make
Switch over the app, dude. Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter to repost to like figure it out. It's not hard. It doesn't take long.
Yeah.
But it's a two-way street. So I think like we're doing what we can to promote it and give the platform. The athletes are doing what they can to hustle and sell the tickets, and it's also another way for them to make a couple extra bucks too.
That's a good incentive. That's something that we try doing as well. As like even online tickets, we give them their special link. Click on this link, you'll be supporting this fighter if you buy this ticket. Blah blah blah.
It just it doesn't. Some guys that are the ultra talented athletes don't have that ability or that piece in their brain that is like, let me take a selfie in front of the odd or whatever gym or a poster
or some shit,
stuff like that. Like they just don't do it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, everybody's on social. Not everybody is active on social.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean. So it's like, oh man, like you gotta like have your girlfriend do it or something. Like just you'll see the bump.
Yeah,
you'll see the bump when it comes to followers, when it comes to likes, when it comes to people then buying tickets and stuff like that. You'll see it. But yeah, Patrick's done a fabulous job with the social and the interactions and the stuff that they know how to do like behind the scenes. Like there's they were doing like a giveaway, ticket giveaway in Kitchener or whatever, and I was like, how's that going? Or when are you going to post that thing? Like we talked about this, when is it going to happen? He's like, oh, it's been out for weeks.
Oh.
Really? Like, I know this much. You can set up to be notified when somebody posts something. All right. So, okay, when BTC Fight posts something,
you get a notification.
I get a notification.
Yeah.
So I said, I didn't get a notification. I haven't seen the post. Like, I want to share it or like all the stuff. And he's just like, no. It's like only in Kitchener.
So it's just directed to people with, or it's promoted within that demographic or that area.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I guess it's a better way to go about it too, strictly because you're trying to target that immediate area.
Exactly.
right. Interesting.
Like 2 fucking wizards in there.
Yeah,
that's
fucking smart. 2020 plans for or the end of 2020. Where would you like to see BTC, or what kind of improvements, or what's your long-term plan for 2020? We know we have a bunch of shows planned.
We got 4 shows planned for sure.
Rolling into 2021. Like I'm not a big proponent of saying 2021 is going to be the year of fucking BTC, or 2021 is for the
they're all the year of the night, BTC. Right? But it's been the year of BTC since 2017, man.
You know what the fuck I mean? Like this isn't the year of that I'm going to fucking get in shape. Right? I'm talking about in this 12-month stretch. Yeah. What do you hope to accomplish so that the next 12-month stretch is more successful? Or
growth, definitely growth. I'd like to see the development of a lot of different athletes. As far as record wise, but also with their skill level and all that stuff, have those guys grow and be, because we're giving them an opportunity to compete, to do that, to make that little growth spurt. I would love to have, let's see, between now it's January, we're end of February.
Just about to be March.
So let's say in 12 months from now, I would like to have, or like to see, at least one more guy on the show, maybe 2. I'd like to see for sure 2, but like goal would be to have another guy go to the UFC.
I think that would be great to promote. Like Cage Warriors kind of does that, where they're saying this is our 100th guy that we've sent to the UFC. Yep. I think every time that you guys have somebody jump from BTC straight to the UFC, fucking just promote it. Be like, look.
On the website, there's like the different weight classes, and then the different. So like there's been Kyle Nelson, Perpelek, of course. Those 2 for sure have gone. Jeff Chan's in 1. Anastasia with Invicta. Aaron Jeffrey was in the Contender Series. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody. But nonetheless, like that, they're highlighted and acknowledged on the website that they've gone on to.
It's a great thing to promote.
100%.
Because this is the goal of grassroots MMA is to be the launching pad for these guys, and especially in a province like Ontario where we haven't had that consistent grassroots promotion.
The best is like some promotions that are like so delusional to think that they're in competition with the UFC. It's like, oh man, you're not.
Actually, one thing I did want to touch on, because I did have a little bit of a qualm about this, exclusivity agreements. I know you guys have a little bit. Like we kind of talked about it in terms of Invicta. Like if, say you guys have fucking Sidi fighting, you have him scheduled for this weekend.
Yep.
And the UFC comes in, we want him to step in short notice, same weekend in Norfolk or some shit. You guys probably wouldn't.
The question is,
like,
are you buying the ticket or are we buying the plane ticket? You want him in the UFC, you're gone. Absolutely no one is ever going to be roadblocked from going to the UFC.
Say it's Troy Lamson.
Does not matter.
Say it's Troy Lamson, headliner.
Does not,
Jesse Ronson. You don't give a shit. Okay, then we're on the same page. I'm glad that we can, because I feel like from the interview that I heard with you, it kind of had that. You're saying it's the business, and I completely understand that aspect of it.
I didn't look at it or think about it as of like if they called tomorrow or yesterday, for example.
Like super short notice is what I mean.
Yeah, so that's, I don't know, that one right there, that's, you got to sit down and really think about that one.
Like they take Jesse. I think Jesse is the perfect example in this situation. Sure. They want Jesse to step in for whoever the fuck falls off of this UFC card. But Jesse, you guys are promoting him the most. He's probably bringing in the most people through the door, something like that, right?
I don't know.
Because I completely understand it from the business aspect. Absolutely,
that's a tough one.
But do you want to be that road? Do you want to be known as that promotion that blocked this guy? Because TKO is kind of taking a little bit of shit from that too, and I'm more than willing to put them out over the fire with Jesse Arnett. Jesse Arnett's my dude. Like that's one of my boys going back a little bit now.
He got a call and he was
supposed to step in for the Edmonton card, UFC 215, I think it was. And TKO wouldn't let him out of his agreement. I'm not 100% sure if he had a fight booked at the time. He was their champion at the time. But I'm not sure if he actually had a fight. And then what happened after that? He goes out there, fights fucking Nate Maness, loses the title. Goes out there, fights Josh Hill, gets knocked out. It's probably not getting this guy in the UFC anymore.
No. Yeah, it's...
And his age is up there now too.
So if it was like, let's say it's 2 weeks from now. So we're definitely well between cards, whatever. And let's say we had an exclusive agreement with Ronson. We don't. Let's just say we did.
Hypothetical.
They call him, somebody calls him in 2 weeks and they go, can he fight for us on May the 15th? And our next show is June the 6th. But I don't have any intentions on using him on that June card.
Go for it. By all means.
Go for it. You know what I mean? Because
But we're talking about like another regional show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That I don't give a shit about. That type of exclusivity, I'm completely okay with as long as you're using the guy as well too. But I'm talking about blocking them from going to Bellator or UFC or one.
No.
That would be too much of a. I think it's more of a black cloud on the promotion that blocked him.
Why would we let someone go fight for Jim's Fight Club down the street?
I completely get that.
You know what I mean?
No, I completely get that.
Because King of the Cage got roasted when they didn't let. One of Sucker Punch's guys had 2 or 3 different opportunities just last year to get the call. Draker Close, I believe, is
Draker Close. Yeah.
I hope it was him. But anyway,
he got into the UFC maybe 3 years ago. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it,
okay,
it's been a little while.
Definitely not him.
Yeah,
it was just last year. The kid's nice too, but he's got a contract. It was like a 6-fight deal with King of the Cage. And they asked him to sign with the UFC multiple times last year. And each time they're like, no. And people were roasting them.
For sure.
For doing it. But they know like this kid is going to sell shitloads of tickets and da-da-da-da-da. Right? That's the full business reason why.
That's like if Score Fighting Series held Josh Hill back from going to the Ultimate Fighter or from doing any of that shit because he sold all the tickets.
Yeah, but I think King of the Cage thinks that they compete with the UFC, but it's a totally different thing. Right?
I get it though.
It's Levi's versus like Lee. They're both jeans. They're both blue jeans.
Yeah.
Right, but you got the Levi's, the nice stuff here, and you got the fucking Lee here.
But in this industry that we know that UFC is the end all be all. I mean, you never want to be that company that's like, no, we're not letting you go over there, even though you have this opportunity.
There's probably a handful in the world that look at themselves like, no, I'm not going to help them because I'm coming for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think the only promotions I believe people would have a qualm with if you tried blocking them to go there is ONE FC, Risen, maybe not even Risen. Risen's probably not Risen. One, Bellator and UFC. That's about it. Probably 3 promotions at most.
Maybe PFL.
You
give somebody an opportunity at $1 million. You want to be that dick that says no?
That's so true. Their thing is so sketchy though. Like in terms of they paid out a couple guys.
That's a whole other podcast, man. Like, to be honest, that whole World Series of Fighting Out PFL thing.
But do you like that the regular season and tournament thing that they have? Are you a fan of that? I'm a fan.
I have a lot of questions though. Like I think Jesse got dogged.
Oh, he got fucked. He absolutely got dogged there. That was unfortunate.
The way that some of that stuff works, and I can't remember who was talking about it recently. Like if your opponent misses weight, you were supposed to get.
Jason had the same conversation with me about it. Then. Yeah.
So we won't.
And he didn't get the points, and Nijim got the points.
So he sort of got a raw deal there.
Then he goes up against a tournament winner, fucking Natan Schultz.
I have a lot of questions about stuff like that. I think I would have loved to have seen Sarah Kaufman fight. Yeah. What's her name? Harrison.
Yeah.
Sarah's a sweetheart.
Awesome girl.
But I think they had it set up that way. Like, don't tell me that these original matches were random.
No.
Fuck out of here.
There's no way they're just going to make a regular season fight between them two. Or
not
even
that,
the playoffs.
But like, what was there, 4 of them? 4 of the ladies?
I think there was only 4. Yeah, you're right.
So it's Bobby Joe from Sarnia area.
Larissa Pacheco.
Sarah. There had to have been more.
I feel like it was just them. Max 6.
There's 3. Yeah, there would have been 6. It's
Max
fights.
6.
8.
Don't even remember who the other chicks were.
No.
We know that was the season to be fucking Sarah Kaufman against Kayla Harrison. Yeah. Probably the biggest test that Kayla Harrison was going to get in that point in time.
For sure.
Probably not going to happen anymore.
Well, hopefully they love Kayla, so they're probably just going to keep sending her out there.
My only problem with them is that the one night tournament thing. Split up the tournament on separate nights, just so we don't get like, fucking late short Chris Curtis.
Imagine
fucking
Chris Curtis,
retire and then 45 minutes left. Yo, you want to jump back into the tournament? Of course I do. If I'm going to win $1 million,
let's dance.
Exactly, but like make it on separate days so guys don't have to pull out and guys, I like Bellator. Like Bellator's doing those tournaments on like separate days, and I love that. I love that.
Bellator is slowly growing on me. I never used to really tune in a lot. Mm-hmm. But now it's a legit spot for guys to go too. So there's more guys that like name recognition, like Sergio Pettis for one.
I'm glad Josh Hill's over there now too.
It's about friggin' time, man. Like it's so nice to see a guy like him finally get an opportunity.
Been paying his dues.
You know what I mean? For real.
Been paying his dues.
And like going and fighting the guys at the TKO that he fought, and just fighting whenever he could.
Yeah.
Like I'll never forget. When he fought Mike Adams in Edmonton. Mm-hmm. I was out there. Ryan Dixon was out there.
What promotion was that?
WSOF, ironically enough.
Oh, yeah. Shit.
He fought Mike Adams, and it was right after the Ultimate Fighter when he was like the wrestler, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So he's like, fine, watch this.
Yeah.
And he iced him.
Yeah.
Mike Adams iced him. Mike Adams 7-2, I think, when they fought. Blonde dude from Toshido. Tough dude, really good fight, but I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
Like being so happy for him after watching the show and what he was kicked when he was down, sort of thing.
The unfortunate rub that he got from Dana and all that.
Yeah, which is basically blackballed because he went on a run after that you should have earned him a spot
back on the show,
on the big show.
Big show, yeah.
And I never got it. And got a crack with WSOF. Looked fucking awesome against Marias that first one. Ate the knee in the second one.
Yeah. But to have that as your only like real losses on your record, that's
and to only now being like big show, like being put on a big show.
Mm-hmm. We'll end off on this though. Speaking about tournaments, is that something that you guys have discussed for BTC potentially?
We have
not one night tournaments, but like setting up tournament type things.
Is that we need to develop the roster a lot more to do something like that. Like
I think you guys could do it with like the 0-0, 1-0 type of guys. Like make it like a prospect type of tournament. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
it's a fun idea for sure, but it again, like I'd have to look at the notes to see what like how deep, say, featherweight is less than 3 fights.
Yeah.
It's not that deep.
True.
You know what I mean? So it, like down the road, these goals that you were asking about and stuff like that. Yeah, I think that's something that would be interesting. A lot of the time too, I'm making 2-3 moves ahead of time. So something like that would make complete sense as well. The other part of the goals thing would be like, maybe we can squeeze an additional show instead of doing 4 a year.
Okay.
Like maybe we squeeze in a
Get
fifth.
to 5. That'd be cool.
I'd love to do that.
That'd be sick. The fact that you guys are even pulling off 4 though is an astounding feat in itself in Ontario. So all praise to you guys for being able to pull that shit off.
Yeah, it's like I've been saying, it's a ton of work. And I mean, if it wasn't for Irene and Sherry, there's no chance.
Dead in the water if it wasn't for them.
Nope.
I'm super glad for them. I hope I get to actually meet them when I go out to the show too. That would be fucking awesome. Yeah, dude, I appreciate you coming by. You guys,
this was fun, man.
Like, I love just shooting the shit. Like, I don't even know what fucking time. Normally, I have my laptop and shit set up there so we can like Google shit. Good, what time is it?
7:30, 7:18. We're good.
Not bad. But yeah, I really appreciate you making the fucking trek down. I wanted to get the word out about BTC. I'm glad we were actually supposed to do this after the show because I didn't want to fucking stress you out by coming out here. And I'm sure you got shit that you got to do for the show. But I'm glad that we got to do it before so we can promote it too.
That's the best time because like 90% of things are done. And and even still, like I'm not a guy that stresses much.
You seem pretty calm, cool, and collected for somebody who has a show that's going down in like 4 days, 5 days. All praise to you.
I don't know.
Dude.
I think it's. I mean, at home I have 4 kids.
Yeah.
One's a baby. The oldest is 9.
Okay, so that's already stress in itself, dude.
Very busy. Right. So it's.
Yeah. You got
can't be that bad. Nothing's that bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's lots of stuff, and really, what's stressing going to do? See, if you got a problem and you're freaking out about it, that's not solving it.
But that's the experience, though, right? That's fucking 8 events deep now. You know shit's going to eventually go wrong. You just have to roll with the punches, and you kind of know what you can be doing.
Yeah, we've had some, like, one of those, like, remember that time?
Yeah.
It could always be that shitty or that bad or whatever.
That's why you're going to be a multiple-time guest, strictly due to the fact that we have remember that time moments? We have so many of those within the industry, just being around here for like 10 years itself, right?
You had RG in here yet?
He was the first guest. Of course he was, dude. Sick. I'll send you the link to that one. Yeah. But yeah, like as soon as I made up my mind that I was going to do this type of show, RG #1. That guy has stories for days.
I could talk to that guy for
I love him so much.
There's a show this weekend, right on the 29th, the UFC one.
Yeah, the Norfolk one.
Okay, well let's get some picks in. But
okay, I'm actually, the funny thing is, after you leave, I'm going to be recording my like Lockcast show to release to the people as well too. But I'm more than happy to get into it.
What do you got for
my lock of the night play? I haven't made the bet yet. There's going to be Magomed Ankalaev over at Ian Kutalaba.
Let me see. You don't have service down here?
Yeah.
1 bar 3 Jim. Try to pull up the odds, see what we're working with.
Well, so Ankalaev opened
What's
up.
What's the main event? Because I mean, I'm not going to know that.
Davison Figueiredo against Joseph Benavidez.
Okay,
I wanted to it was roughly around -120 Benavidez, but in the last couple of days, money's come in on him. -150 Benavidez now.
So what's the comeback?
+125, +130 on Davison.
Not enough.
I wanted to go deep on Benavidez.
At 20? Sure.
At -120. So even -140, I was kind of considering it.
Okay.
Then at work, I have the luxury of being able to do a little bit of tape study while I'm there. Right. So I was watching a couple of the fights. And the only thing I don't really like about Benavidez is when he does close the distance and try to rip off some of his shots, he likes to dig to the body a lot, but he leaves his head open so often. And Davison has that like one shot knockout power type of thing. And he's quick and he's very precise. So I could see an opportunity where he could land in those first 15 minutes. But if he doesn't land in those first 10 to 15 minutes, Benavidez is just going to grapple fuck him. That's kind of where I'm seeing it as. But Ankalaev, I'm not sure how much you know about him. Lock of the night for me, easily.
How much? What's the knockout?
I think knockout Davison is like +300.
Yeah, that's worth a nickel.
Not bad,
right?
Yeah, if you want to bet on the fight, I think that because you could possibly see a late Benavidez submission or a finish there, but I think the price is much better on Davison by finish at +300.
Yeah, that's what I would maybe look at the knockout or hope there's some buyback on Benavidez and get him at.
I could see it
30 something like that.
I could see it. I could definitely see a little bit more money coming out on Davison throughout the week.
The thing with MMA, it's worse than betting football because somebody's breaking your heart. Every friggin' show, someone's breaking your heart.
I've been on a little bit of a rough stretch the last couple months just because shit just keeps fucking.
I tailed you last week or the week before, whatever. And I'm like, okay, we're off to a good start. We got the one and maybe the second one. And of course, my greedy ass just took your picks and just
parlayed it. Oh, don't do that.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the harshest lesson that I learned. Like the first year I started doing it. Don't parlay. I'm trying to stay away from parlays. Stupid.
I hate parlay. Because again, someone's gonna break your heart. You even on hockey, let's say you.
Oh yeah.
The Leafs. I hate the Leafs.
Yeah.
But let's just say the Leafs against the Canadians, whom I love. There's two rules that I have when betting hockey. Never bet the Leafs ever on or against. And never bet Montreal or the other. So that's stupid example.
Yeah.
But anyways, good team Leafs, bad team Montreal. All right. Minus 300 for the Leafs. Fuck it. Throw them in a parlay.
Yeah.
They're going to win 6-0. The Habs are going to win 6-0.
Probably.
Break your heart.
There's always some fuckery like
that month. You're not paying.
I hope you're not betting that deep.
And then you're chasing.
No, I've tried to stay. The fight that actually made me get away from parlays was Joanna getting knocked out by Rose the first time. I had Joanna in a parlay. I forgot with who, but after that I was kind of like traumatized. I was like, what the fuck? How did this?
That wasn't supposed to happen.
And another one, there's just a Hail Mary for fun parlay. I had a 13-legger. There was a couple baseball games in there.
13-legger?
A 13-legger.
Holy.
Take this in. Just for it was like $10. 13-legger. I also had Alima Leigh McFarlane to win inside the distance.
Shit? Damn.
Yo, she won inside the distance. That was like plus 400. I just threw it in for the fun of it. Daniel Cormier to knock out Stipe Miocic, called that. Had that in the parlay. The only one that did not hit.
There's always 13. One.
Francis Ngannou, Derek Lewis to knock out a decision. And they stared at each other for 15 minutes. Minus 400 on a parlay.
So did you end up on Barstool, like putting a bat through your TV when you were watching that or something?
I was sad as fuck, dude, because the payback was like 10 or 12 grand. I think it was. It was ridiculous. Off of $10.
Jeez.
It was ridiculous. Like I still make
fun
parlays.
Baseball and stuff on it too.
Yeah, I was. Adam Martin. Mm-hmm. I tailed him on a couple of things too because he used to do like giant like baseball bets too. But yeah, that was one of those like open parlays. So on Sport Bet, you can just do like you can take bets over 7 days. You can plug it in however often that you want. You don't have to make all your bets on one day. You can make it an open parlay. That's it. You just make a bet, say I want to have 12 open spots, and then as the days go by, you just keep adding fights onto it or whatever matchups onto it.
And the odds obviously
get better. Like they get into parlay territory, right?
Yeah, but like with football spreads and stuff, if you have X amount of games, then you know what your payout's going to be regardless of the odds, so to speak, right? Like if you have a hockey game or the Benavides fight at 150, and then you see so you have 150, and then the Leafs and the Habs, or whatever,
300,
sure, right? Your number is going to move with what you add to it, right? Or is it say you've got 12, you put 10, you get 10,000?
It just depends on like whatever odds you lock your individual bet into. That's what the odds stay at. That's pretty much all it is.
So that's where the numbers would then move. If you add a 140 plus a minus 300,
then it fluctuates in terms of that. Now I'm just trying to stick with like straight bets, straights and over unders. That's kind of where I'm trying to stick to.
The only time that people, or the only reason people play with parlays is because they're greedy.
Oh yeah.
Like, what's the point? Like, I would be so less satisfied winning 5 straight bets to be up, let's say a unit's 100, be up 1 unit.
Yeah.
When I could have made those same 5 and be up 5 units.
That's why the bookies always make fucking money. Because there's people that are too greedy out there. Mm-hmm. And hey, there is every UFC event, I kind of look at it as a lottery ticket. I will make a $15 to $20 Hail Mary bet.
Sure.
Because I feel like I have an advantage over, fucking numbers in a Lotto Max type of thing. You know what I mean? Sure. This is our lottery. You know this
and you have a good time with it.
You have a good time too.
Think of how many, then that's another reason why the lights stay on the casino is because how many people are making those throwaway bets.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
But now I'm just sticking as straight as possible with like straight bets.
Sure.
That's where I put the majority of my money.
You get to a number where like the number gets so high, you won't sprinkle on it, or you immediately just flip to the other guy or team or whatever.
I feel like I did that a lot, like maybe in the past 6 months or so. Like obviously when it comes to betting, you want to be betting the number, not the fighter. That's kind of rule number one.
Okay.
You want to bet the value that you believe you're getting. But then in part, when I started off this lock of the night thing, I was just killing it because I wasn't really thinking about the number. I was thinking about which fighter is going to go out there and win, but I won't be betting past minus 300. If it gets past minus 300, I'm not even going to think about that. That's kind of where I set my bar stool at.
With fights, I would probably stop at like minus 200 maybe.
Okay.
Right now, for whatever reason. But with hockey, for example, if I see a minus like 280, minus 300 or better, I guess, I immediately bet the other team.
Interesting. Well, I guess there's a lot more variance there too. I guess fighting is the same too, but
kind of to a degree. But for whatever reason, like 9 times out of 10, for whatever fucking reason, that dog will cash. And you put $5 or $10 on a plus 250 or whatever the hell it is.
Long term, it works out.
Then you could piss it away 5 more times before you give the bookies money back. Right?
No, that's so true. I'm trying to, like this past weekend, I bet Yan Xiaonan to beat Karolina Kovacevic. I got her at minus 256, but I was waiting for it to get to like minus 220-ish. So I waited it out as much as I could, but I was still super sold on her as my main bet just because I knew she was going to go in there and wreck.
Right.
So I made a big bet on her, and then I put a little bit on her inside the distance to win. Her inside the distance was like plus 480. I'm like, stylistically,
those are good ones too.
This seems like a spot where Yan should be able to go out there and get a finish. Karolina, not the best striking defense, and I'm not sure if you saw her videos afterwards. She eye patched up, all that type of shit. She was this close to actually getting finished, so it would have paid off. Right?
She used like a bandana as an eye patch.
What? Dude. But that's why I made lock of the night for fights like that.
Sure.
Where I don't mind paying the juice. I don't mind paying the juice if I'm uber confident.
Do you up your units then?
I try to do it every month. I try to like adjust it based on whether I've won or lost. So even for 2020 now, especially with the wedding coming up now, I've pretty much taken out the majority of my betting account to put into the wedding.
Sure.
And I left myself with a grand.
Not a bad way to pay for a wedding though. Good for you.
Yeah, a certain amount. I wish it was more. Still wish it was more, but I guess we're just greedy at the end of the day. But I left myself with $1,000 now. So I'm doing $10 units. I don't even give a fuck. Just so I can strictly focus on this.
Do you change how much you put on the lock of the night? If it's minus 250, do you put then like 3 units on it?
I for my lock of the night play, I when I originally started, it used to be just 5 units straight, always 5 units. Okay. But then mid last year, I switched it to 3.5 to 5 units, depending on my confidence level in that.
Yeah, sure.
If I can find one that I'm 5 units confident in, then I'll go with the 3.5.
The commercial picks sellers or whatever, like the game of the year.
Oh, no. Play of the year game. No. Play of the year game.
You hear that guy on the radio sometimes? Maybe not, because
I barely listen
to
radio.
You don't have to listen to radio. Transit, that's a podcast. That's a good thing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But anyways, this jackass, like, I have some sensitive information regarding tonight's NHL hockey game. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, call this toll-free 1-800 whatever. Get out of here, man.
Who's that the dude from fucking New York? The old guy always makes those outrageous videos. Fuck.
Was that Marty Mush?
No, there's another guy. He works for Barstool. Fuck. Dave? No, not Dave. I can't remember his name, but it's like this old guy that like just recently got Twitter and he's making all these like stupid videos of him yelling at the camera.
I think that's not Marty.
As soon as you say his name, I know who you'll know.
I won't
know
his
about.
Name because I don't pay that much. Like their videos are only so good.
I don't want to be that guy though. Like
no, that's 100% a parody. Like if anyone's tailing their plays, they're probably living in a tent.
Probably. I don't respect anybody that doesn't third party track their shit. And I know that's kind of like that's so like cliche to say, but
it's so easy to fake shit.
If you don't have results to back up your fucking your game, I don't really give a shit. You know what I mean? Like you can make it on a spreadsheet. I don't give a fuck about that. But there's one specifically for MMA, betmma.tips that I use. That's actually where I started off on, and they track it very well. Okay. They track it very very well. Non-biased. They don't really fuck around with anything, so it's really good in that aspect too. But yeah, I try to find. I'm trying to get back to my zen mode of finding just my lock of the night play, and I feel like Uncle Live this weekend is going to be that too. So after BTC, the guy that I'm coming with also does handicapping too. After that, we're gonna come back here and just fucking watch the fights, catch up on Fight Pass.
Kind of the after party Turtle Jacks in Kitchener, and the fights will be on the TV at Turtle Jacks this Saturday, February 29th, Kitchener, Ontario.
I gotta drive my ass back to Brampton, then he's gotta drive his ass back up to Muskoka.
Oh, tough life. Huh?
What time are we thinking the fights are going to? 11? Because I think it says 5 to 11, right? No.
I don't think they'll be that late.
10 o'clock?
6 o'clock is his first bell.
Okay. Here's me about to be 20. There for fucking 5 o'clock.
Yeah, doors open at 5.
Doors open at 5. I'll probably be there at 5:30.
Yeah, because people will start trickling in. A lot of tickets that we'll call. Yeah. That sort of thing. So that there'll be a bit of a log jam there. Mm-hmm. A couple local guys kicking things off. So I think there'll be a bit of a rush at that point. But yeah, so first bell will be at 6, provided like we at one event the ambulance showed up like a half hour late, which kind of delayed us.
Yeah.
But we sort of sorted that out. What time are we going to go till? I don't know. 10-ish. Depends how many like finishes, how many.
Yeah.
I can see some of the fights being competitive enough that like the one guy's not going to overpower to a certain degree.
You see it going to 15 is what you're saying. Yeah.
A few of them.
You say that reluctantly. No, it seems like
we've had a lot of. I said it on the last show that I did. Whatever that in 8 shows, I can confidently say, and I have been saying basically since
I wish
show
you spilled
number
the beans
1.
On that. I wish you spilled the beans on that.
No,
you're not technically ragging on the guys. I'm sure the guys themselves would say, yeah, you know what, that wasn't my best fight, but I'm not going to pressure you to it, so it's totally fine.
I still won't. I got
it's fine.
For
it's
both
fine.
Guys. I got
you're turning red over there, so
now,
I won't even.
How many names have we talked about tonight? Like just randomly throwing names
and tons and tons.
One of the names was mentioned tonight.
Go back in the video and see who it would be.
Well, yeah. But no, like, and that's the one thing that I'm again so super proud of is that we've done 8 shows.
Yeah,
we've had one fight that was not a slobber knocker type of fight. It was a strategic fight. Whatever, it wasn't my favorite one. I mean, they're not all going to be awesome.
Of course,
they're not all going to be my favorite.
Yeah.
But to whether they've been decision fights or finishes, they've all been really, really solid fights. Like the Cody Kent Sam Jaguar fight from 8 is a good example of that. I mean, 2 guys that were both winless at the time that were either going to come out of the gate, throw all caution to the wind, or play a conservative game because I don't want to lose again. Yeah. I want to get my first win, so it'll be point fighting, whatever. These dudes, it's like they didn't give a shit about records or nothing. We're gonna fight. Nice. Let's go. It was a great fight, and that's awesome. How we started the night off in Niagara Falls. And I think Forrest Ayers and Avinash Chowti are gonna start us off on Saturday.
I think that's a local boy, right?
Avinash is a Kitchener guy.
Yeah.
Forrest is from London. Mm-hmm. So again, both guys will be looking to get that first pro win. Avinash is going to want to win to get his first pro win, but also he's not going to lose in his backyard. No. He's not going to go down like easily. So right off the hop,
that's why I wanted to bring my boy Z with me, just because I know he's just as interested in the O&O guys or like the guys right at the top of the card or the bottom of the card all the way to the top of the card. Yeah, I'm going to be there from the first fight. I don't give a fuck. Like,
to see the evolution I'm excited in the card too, like you get
the experience
guys.
Level continue to grow, nuts. Right?
Yeah, because a little bit spazzy, the newer guys and stuff like that, right?
Jitters and some of them still maybe they get to work through that type of stuff. I'm not going to ask you what your favorite fight on the card is because every fucking fight is the best on there. And again, with us being so close to that scene, we build a story in our own head based on these fighters and how much we know about them. So every fight is fucking interesting for us, right?
Yeah, and
with you being as close as you are to these fighters, matchmaking them,
they've all got a level of intrigue to them that I've got my eyes on, and again, I'm thinking 2-3 shows ahead.
Yeah.
So there's more interest in it that way. Oh yeah.
So you're saying like if this guy gets the W, I got this guy in mind for him next.
Well, like I said in June last year, the first fight and the second fight, they were back to back. And I was like, okay, the 2 winners of that would be like they just had 2 killer fights each. The 2 winners, let's pair you up.
Did that end up materializing?
Yeah, it did. And it was a fucking bad.
Yeah. Yep. You want to talk about it?
It was Tishay and Ariel Zaniga.
Nice. Yep. Tishay.
Yeah.
He gave my boy his first loss.
He fought who?
Hashmat. Was that on your card?
Oh yeah, that was that was down the highway.
Hashmat is a kid that like I was really, really high on, but he stepped away from the game for a little bit. Then he came back to it. Super talented kid. Super talented kid. That was a tough fight for him to take. Tisha's a big kid too.
But I think
he's a 25er as well. Should be a 25er.
His fight's at 25.
Hashmat.
Yeah.
He's fighting for you guys?
No.
Oh, he's fighting. Oh, yeah, he's fighting for the other guys.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that.
But it's a good fight for him, for sure. I like the fight.
Good.
I was really pumped for him in Peterborough. Where the hell was it?
I feel like that was a Niagara fight.
No, he was supposed to fight maybe in June. He was supposed to fight for us. I can't remember, but it didn't pan out for whatever reason. And I was really choked because I knew of his kickboxing background, but I knew he was one of our G's guys, former guys, whatever you want to call it. So like,
he had that fight with Louis Jourdain on the amateur scene.
Yeah,
and then like he just was not well after that fight, and he just stepped away, just left the gym, just completely. Just went off the radar. And then I just saw him spring up within the last year or so, 2 years. Talked to him on the phone. He's like, yo, I'm starting to get back into the game, looking for fights and stuff. If you can help me out. I'm like, yeah, whatever I can do, I'm more than happy to help you, right?
G was telling me that he was driving one day and he's just like, I'm going to stoplight one day and then this fucking punk kid comes pulling up me. It rolls down his window, starts like waving at me, shit. I go, oh, shit.
Yeah. You told that story on the podcast as well. That was fucking great. Yeah. That was awesome. I'm excited I'm going to be at both those shows anyway, so I'm happy that I get to see both those guys as well. Last comments that you want to have about BTC, February 29th at the Yacht in Kitchener. So if you're in the Toronto area, if you're in Southern Ontario and you love MMA, you need to go watch a regional fucking MMA show, and BTC is probably one of the first that you should go. They set a bit of a standard now too in terms of actually giving a fuck about the production and how the show actually goes as itself. When we used to do the shows back in the day, it was all bare bones. We're just trying to get these guys fights. That's all it was. But BTC is actually putting on legitimate fucking shows. They're going through all the fucking hoops that they need to make it as professional as possible too. So that's fucking great. The Odd, February 29th, Kitchener, Ontario. Again, if you don't know where the fuck Kitchener is, but you're in the Toronto-ish area, it's close enough for you to get to. Trust me.
You go west on the 401, yeah?
That's it. And you'll see Kitchener signs. That's as simple as it is.
Just follow those.
I'm going to be out there.
When you start seeing signs, London, turn around.
You've gone too far.
You've gone too far. That's only like not even an hour from out here, yeah?
I actually Googled it. I actually Googled it to the pub that I want to go to before.
Okay.
Morty's Pub in Waterloo, because Jason told me that's the best wings in that spot. So me and Z are going to be hitting up some wings first, and then we're going to head on over.
Sure.
But I can't fucking wait. Anything that you want to say about the show other than anything that I haven't plugged yet?
Yeah, like I say, nine professional MMA fights, and I find myself always saying that it's professional MMA.
Perfect.
Because aside from Ontario, really, all the other shows are doing like pro-ams or adding kickboxing and this and that, which is fine and dandy, but you're getting 100% professional card from top to bottom. And for $25 to sit in the upper bowl,
it's not like it's the Rogers Center, so you got those $25 are still fucking good tickets.
Right on top of this, if it's not close enough, screens for everybody to see. Like, there's not a bad seat in the house. The venue's beautiful. BTCfight.ca for tickets. Follow BTC Fight on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, because like we said before, the stuff that Patrick does with the promo videos, with the ads, with the stuff he did a series with Scott a fight or two ago where he was following him for his weight cut and stuff like that. Blew his mind. He'd never seen what the athletes have to go through to sort of get there.
Yeah.
So it blew his mind, but then when he put it on the online or whatever, it was wild. So we're trying to come up with different sorts of content as well. So, but check those things out, like them, share them, all that good stuff. And 4 shows this year, man. Who knows what the hell next year's going to be. I'm
excited for the Brampton one. I hope you guys can find a brown guy to put on there. Honestly, our pool is lacking heavily. Our pool is heavily lacking.
You got to be banging that drum, man. I can't even tell.
There's nobody. There was my boy Gary Mangett from fucking the West Coast.
Yeah.
But I think he's with Brave now or One, so I doubt you guys would be able to get him on here. I know he would have loved to fucking do the show just due to his following that he has tier 2. I actually did a meet and greet for him with a bunch of those. Like,
you did?
Yeah. This was like when he was like 4-0, like way back in the day.
Yeah.
Decent turnout, not bad.
Oh, shit.
But, you He's just been doing his own thing now.
Well, we'll have to talk about that off air, how we can sort of facilitate or help. You can help facilitate something like that.
I'll see what I can do with my brown peeps down here.
Because I can't. What am I supposed to say?
No, it's
what kind
true.
of comment can I add to that? Like, yes, please. Like that's definitely
Get your Indians out here.
That's how the brand is going to be successful. Like, come on, I can't.
It's all good, dude. Rob, once again, I appreciate you fucking coming in. All the information for BTC is going to be in the description of either this YouTube video or the podcast that you're listening to. Just check it out. I'm going to have the link for the fights as well. I believe you guys are streaming them too, right? So even if you're not in the Toronto area?
BTCfight.ca, I believe $19.99.
Okay. Not bad for a solid night of fights. You get Jesse Ronson, you get Cody Pfister, you get up and coming guys that are just waiting to crack the fucking the upper echelon of the MMA scene.
You don't want to miss that Series City Mateo Vogel fight. That's
the only fight I've been one of the only fights I've been hearing about for this card. So I'm super excited myself.
Xavier Nash is a guy from Toronto. Well, he's in the Toronto area now, but him and Crystal Art's going to be a good little tilt.
I heard that's a fucking great one too. I can't wait for that.
Kyron Cameron.
Look at him doing his pitch. All the names just keep coming into him. If you guys do hit up the show, hit me up too. I'm going to be there. Let's have a drink or we'll see what the fuck else happens.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys checking out the episode. Once again, support BTC, and I'll see you guys at the show. Peace.
Thanks, guys.